Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of TOT.
What the fuck?
We are missing one player today, Reich, as they had some Canadian business to take care of, which means everyone slowly turned towards Sammy in the corner of the room and blame her
Yes,
for all of
Sammy.
this.
What'd you do?
Anything. This time.
This time. Alright, well, it landed on Das to detail what happened last session. Go ahead.
So like some time ago, Reich and Catan were revealed to have some dragon blood or dragon origin or something weird inside of them. So Kane
Great
gave them
way
a
to
key.
describe it.
I'm sorry, it's what I remember. I'm just gonna continue and ignore you right now. Okay, so they got a big key from Kane to get to inside one of the dragon shrines that are scattered around the entire world, I guess. And so we made our trek through the desert to said shrine. Where we had to go through a bunch of doors we could open with the key, but whenever we went through a door, the key got like pulled back, so we had to combine our strength to push the key forward. And in between the doors, we had to answer riddles from different sphinxes that just appeared, asked a riddle and fucked off again.
They did their job.
I think it did their job. Fair. I think it was 4 riddles.
It was 5.
5, okay. And well, at the end, we got rewarded by meeting a giant dragon that I don't remember the name of. Oopsie.
Orbis.
Yeah,
Thank you.
The dragon's name is Orvis.
And well, that dragon did a lot of talking, like hours and hours of it, because he doesn't meet a lot of people. But at the end of all of it, we decided that Reich is going to start caring for Samanu now. And we got more information about these dragon shrines, that whenever we visit one of them and get the blessing from it, Samanu is maturing, and Reich and Catan get some boons because of their heritage. And I think that's most of what happened.
More or less, yeah. Does anyone want to add any other details there? Thank
Orvis
you, Tom.
was delightful to talk to, and just so happened to really like riddles.
We agreed to looking into supplying him with an offering of sheep.
True.
Was there anything else?
I don't think so, no.
Yeah. It was a fun romp.
All right.
I'm glad we all could come along.
Well, I do know that there were two? I think it was 2. There might have been more. Other roleplay sessions that happened in between the last session and this session.
Ooh.
One of them involved Leiku and Rose, to which both of them just kind of hung out and got to know each other a little bit better. But this effectively ended in something that's very important for Rose. As you all know, Rose is blind and uses echolocation to try and make her way around. She doesn't like battles particularly much because the excess noise and the overlapping yelling makes it hard for her to see. So, the both of them went to Kate to develop several objects. They're not really bombs, but I guess you can describe them as such, where she has effectively a cube. She can push a button, throw it, and as long as the object isn't destroyed, it will constantly set off a frequency that's usually a bit too loud pitch for everyone here to hear, but it would be enough for her to hear it so that she can see.
When you say
you're making
usually,
a sound bomb.
Yeah. I wouldn't call it a bomb, because bombs are instantaneous. This happens permanently until the battery runs out, basically.
when you say usually, does anybody else hear it? Like, does Hissy hear it? Because Hissy is...
I would say
Hissy?
Catan, Hissy, and the rats can probably hear it.
Oh, that's really interesting. Good luck with your tinnitus.
And I believe the other one was between Sammy and Kane, if you would like to detail that.
Sammy really wanted to start learning more about being Kelnorian for obvious reasons, and thought, why not learn from the king himself as well as get his thoughts on people. So she conducted an interview, notebook in hand. They walked, and as he showed her around the area, important details, and she got a better feel for how he feels about the individual members of both parties, with some interesting conclusions, basically boiling down to he's got some rather interesting thoughts about each and every one of us, ending with he tolerates Sammy. And that is the best she can get.
Yes.
Damn.
She did also learn to grow a spine and stand up for herself, though. First step to being a Kelnor wife.
Hooray. Is there anything else that people would like to add? Because if not, then we're getting ready for the music.
I mean, I kind of want to know Kane's thoughts on everyone, but I don't think Sammy's gonna share.
Probably not.
Nah, she keeps that shit close to her chest in her notebook.
So go steal her notebook, is what she's saying.
Bet.
Try it and die.
Doc, can you please steal a notebook from me?
You are a
I'm not
cleric
good
that
at
is lawful good. Why are you the most evil in the group?
I mean, it's
Lysandra's
really
lawful
evil.
good?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. We had a discussion about this the other day. I have a really hard time playing lawful good characters.
I know there was some conflict with Reliqual. I didn't know you were supposed to be lawful good, though.
Oh no, I'm
Liz-
supposed to be lawful good. I have
being-
issues.
Liz being lawful good just makes me... The only thing that can pop into my head is, when?
It's pretty funny.
I'm gonna lose all my cleric stuff, guys.
I mean, you've got a robot. Just be an artificer anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? Backup plan.
Anyway. Time to switch over to the other music. So as per usual on go. So 3, 2, 1, go. Alright. So a few days pass by after the whole experience with the Dragon Shrine, to which Catan and Reich spent a good time testing out their newfound strength. At first, they merely tested their might against the training dummies to see how much harder they could hit, but eventually this evolved into the both of them sparring against each other. Of course, at first this was merely to see if this blessing did anything new. However, eventually the both of them did realize that the other had grown much stronger since the last time they truly sparred against each other, with different tactics, movements, and capabilities. This did not last long, however, as one of their sparring matches came to a grinding halt due to the both of them slowly growing a migraine. At first, they thought this was due to dehydration, but that feeling never went away no matter how much they drank. As a matter of fact, each new day that came and went only caused their headache to grow more and more painful, until one day, at breakfast, the both of them simply stood upright and stared off into the distance, as if they were staring into some unholy abomination right in the face. Thankfully, both Lysandra and Sammy were present at this time, as the both of them were preparing and serving breakfast that day. So, the both of you can either roll Knowledge Arcana or Knowledge Psionics, whichever is higher.
My favorite.
Yeah, I've got 14 in each of them.
Never mind.
Alrighty. So, going off the highest roll, that would be Lysandra. As you do your best to examine what's going on, both Catan and Reich just start to walk away. Their movement is slow, so it's not hard to keep up, but you can tell such movements are deliberate. In fact, the way they move is akin to zombies or other forms of ghoulish undead. While this is mildly concerning in the moment, you do your best to ignore it as you examine them to try and figure out what's going on. You can pinpoint that there has to be some kind of eldritch old god magic going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then a music box starts to play in your head.
Oh, that's great. Love that. Cool.
Well,
I mean, I assume nothing's happening immediately, so Lysandra just looks over at Sammy and goes, oh, we have a problem. It is bad, and I hear music.
to
It's
which,
not just you.
Sammy, you were correct. You also can hear the music box playing.
We need to get the others.
What, and just leave these two alone?
I'll run and grab the others. You watch these two. Make sure they don't hurt themselves.
Okay. Just hurry, because I don't know what this music is doing, and if I start going to, then you lose all of us.
Alright. So, Sammy, you rush off to try and gather the rest of the group, to which you succeed in doing so. In the meantime, though, Lysandra, you can see that the movements of these two individuals are beginning to speed up. Are you going to try anything to try and slow them down?
Ooh. Ooh. Ooh.
5.
Yes.
4.
Yes. Yes. I
Tell
want.
me.
I
3.
want to use constricting coils on Catan.
On just Catan.
I only have it once, okay? You warned me about this. I only have it once. I gotta pick one of them.
Alright, functions like hold monster. Except they take damage if they fail, so cool.
Sorry. Sorry, dude.
It's like knocking sense into
Functions
someone.
like hold person. Got it. I love when spells do this. Alright, paralyzes and freezes in place. So
Oh, wait.
Catan.
I can also hold person. I'll do that next time.
So Catan, I need you to make a will save.
Alrighty, will save it is.
Please fail it.
I go to the mix. This. Well, my will isn't particularly good, so.
Good. Fail.
21. So, base of 10 plus the spell level, which is 5. And then I need the casting modifier.
6.
21 succeeds, so you cast the spell. To which Catan seems to shrug it off, passing through the constricting coils themselves.
Oh well.
Oh no!
However, it would be at about this time that everyone else does manage to find you, to which both Catan and Reich are now walking at a normal pace, to which they are making their way through the castle towards the front door.
Has Sammy explained what's happening?
They just got up, they started walking, they're getting faster, and they're leaving. There's eerie music. I tried to stop Catan, and it didn't work. It didn't work. I have one spell left, but I can only stop one of them.
I think Raz will be able to suss out that it's probably a mind effect of some kind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
How do you plan on doing that?
How do I plan to suss it out, or how do I
Yeah.
plan to handle it?
Both.
Okay, well, I'll just... What would this be, perception, or if it's a knowledge check, I can just take a 20 on it?
It would be a knowledge arcana, yeah.
Okay, may I take a 20 on it?
Yeah. Just make sure to add your modifier to the end of it so I know what to add to the calculator here. To which you're trying to assess if it's some kind of mind-affecting effect.
Correct.
Well, if you're taking a 20 with a plus D, yeah, definitely, so you would be able to tell that, yes.
Okay. And Rosin will try to get in range of both of these people who are under some kind of effect.
Mm-hmm.
And,
They're walking side by side, so it's not that hard.
Good. He is going to try to knock them out of it with a distraction performance. If an allied creature with it... Oh, can I... It says an allied creature, so I have to pick one, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think you can
I
pick more the higher level you are, but it's probably just one.
Let me check. I should know this, but I haven't used this once in the campaign.
Let's see, distraction. You can use this purported to counter effects that depend on
Any creature.
sight. You can use this
Why do I have
performance-
this I have this completely written differently then?
Let's see, each round of the distraction he makes you perform. Any creature within 30 feet of the bard, I think yours may have just been switched around then. Affected by an illusion, pattern, or illusion fragment, you may use the performance. Oh, I know what I did. I just
You
did it
wrote
against
if an
any
allied
will
creature
save.
within... Yeah, you said if an allied creature within 30 feet is afflicted by any illusion school of magic spell, you can make a perform check against that spell's DC.
Yeah. So
Just one?
Yeah, only one at
Will
a
this
time.
do anything? Okay.
that's
Okay,
why
well,
I did that. So any one at a time, just as long as it's from any illusion. So
Then
you
I-
do get to do a perform, and they may use the bard's perform check in replace of the saving throw, but only if it's illusion, to which it is not.
Okay.
I want to try one more thing.
And
May I
Before
try
we get
one more
too
thing
far.
first, if that won't work?
No, you go ahead. and
Well,
then
it
I'll-
would be
I'll
back and
try.
forth. You would try that, realize that it's not
Oh,
illusion.
so I did try it. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
you
okay.
you would try it, realize that it's not illusion, then a Lysandra goes. And while this is going
see,
on,
okay.
since you're now all in proximity, you all can hear the music box playing in your head.
Oh, lovely.
Okay. I want to try break enchantment, which actually affects all of us, because it says targets within range have any and all enchantment transmutations curses afflicting them automatically broken and / removed if it's deceased.
As
think
long
it's
as
only
you make
one
a
target.
caster level check,
Yes, a caster level check.
which is 1d20 plus your caster level. Do you know what your caster level is?
Yes, it is 14, I believe. Yeah,
Correct.
14.
Oh, it's one creature per level.
Okay.
And you'd all be within 30 feet of each other, so...
Is it 14 or are we supposed to be 15, guys?
14.
14. Okay. Alright.
Let's
32?
see, DC plus the caster level of the
That was so high.
effect.
Oh god.
Caster level of the enchantment that you're trying to break is
Oh.
30,
Oh,
Oh.
meaning the DC is a 41.
No! That's so high! I couldn't even get that if I had a 20.
However,
shit.
upon casting that spell and trying it, you would
Uh-huh.
immediately recognize that it's from an incredibly high caster.
Oh. 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 Lysandra looks to the rest of the group and says, whoever is doing this is much more powerful than we are.
Then we go back to Rosin, since you wanted to try another thing.
Okay. Well, after learning that, he wouldn't.
Okay.
Rosin is going to suggest. I think we should just tail the lads and see where they go. Make sure they don't get into trouble, because I don't have anything that can stop this.
It'll be at this point that a familiar face does approach the group, to which you can already tell that something, or at least they can sense that something is wrong, because when Layla approaches you, unlike for the last month-ish that she's been hanging around the castle, she isn't carrying a singular pistol or a singular rifle on her back. She's carrying everything. All 15 pistols, all 5 rifles, and the fuck you. And
Sorry,
she stares at the
so
group,
funny.
and she asks, so what have you figured out?
Music, really strong person is doing this. They can't be broken out of it. And it's Eldritch.
She then looks towards both Locke and Kate, to which she says, do either of you have any suggestions?
I don't know what might work here. I mean, there's always the simple thing of someone knock them over and see if they stand up, see if they're just walking, but I don't know. Apart from restraining them, we'd have to investigate what was a way to actually try and break the effect, but I can't think of one. This is also me having looked through my entire spell list to try and find something useful.
She then points to the both of you, one with an index finger and one with the pinky, and she goes, then extract what you can, and we'll let them go. To which that means that you and Kate get to roll for, craft alchemy.
Ooh.
Okay. And I will also burn a inspiration point for this.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of funny that you only rolled higher than she did because of the inspiration.
By a single point.
Alrighty. The both of you approach, to which she gives some general direction. You approach, roll a 1d2, one for Catan. Alright, so you both approach Reich, since he just so happens to be the closest. And you do what you can as he and Catan start to walk. And as you are extracting this information, as well as part of their DNA and everything else, everything, and I mean everything, that you are extracting from them is beginning to glow. To which, anyone here who has it, you can go ahead and roll for Knowledge Psionics or Knowledge Planes, but that's how it's still written on your sheet.
Let me look at Leiku's sheet.
I was waiting for it. I love my psionics
Okay.
rolling.
I do have 2 or
Free
3.
Wait, hold
inspiration
on.
on that one.
What knowledge checks are these?
Psionic.
Is it just okay? If it's just psionic, I can't roll. Good luck, guys.
Jeez, everyone's rolling real low today.
Yeah.
I got a 13. I just don't have a high modifier.
I have a big modifier. I just can't roll high. Except that one
Pretty
thing.
funny.
So, okay, so just rolled. Okay, perfect. So, upon examining, we'll go up to the highest, which is Lysandra. And the way that it glows is exactly as it's described in a lot of the textbooks that you've read on the old gods, as well as from what you remember when you were beating the absolute dog shit out of Tosdu, the way that he bled was more or less in the same way. I won't say that it's ambrosia of the old gods, but it certainly doesn't look like it's Reich's DNA, if that makes sense, even if it was directly extracted from him.
Can
Oh,
I?
God, juice.
Can I? Oh God, juice, slurp it. Can I go and lift up their shirts
What is your intent
To
to
see
do
their
so?
back, I'm
to
assuming.
see their back? Yes.
Okay, yeah, you can go ahead and do so.
Molest them.
This one would
I
just
was
be a
about to ask the same
basic.
thing.
This one would just be a basic dex check, so that you don't
Oh,
just
gross.
stumble over them as you do it.
Oh, gross, Dex. Sure.
Oh my god.
All right, so thankfully you didn't nat once. That's good enough. You do manage to go up and you grab their shirts and you lift it up. Since they're walking, it's a little difficult, but you do lift it up enough to see the marks. The marks on their back, to which they are glowing. They're not illuminating so much to the point that they are emitting enough light underneath the shirt. But as you lift them up, you can see that faint glow, as if there's some kind of strange activation revolving around it.
Okay. So this is definitely related to them being keys. It seems like something activated. Maybe the music did it, and that she points to the glowing stuff that they extracted. That's old god stuff. That's not theirs. That's old god.
Can we tell, does the music come from a direction, or is it just omnidirectional in our heads?
It's just omnidirectional in your heads, yeah.
Rosin, can you deafen everybody?
Yes, but it will be very painful and will kill half of you.
Oh.
I could just scream at you really loud with magic, but
I also don't
I-
think that deafening would do anything.
It's in your
I'm
head.
just trying to
It's in
think
your
of
head.
something, you know?
I could try to distract you with normal music.
No, I don't think
I could
that'll
play
help.
off this little ditty.
Does anybody know where Guava is?
Elsewhere.
Okay.
Can Reich and Catan perceive things around them, or are they just blindly walking forward?
I can't answer that question, sorry.
Can I check? Can I do some kind of check to see that?
Unfortunately, you cannot. If you're asking in regards to Catan. Like if
No,
Catan
I'm
can
asking in
make a
regard
check.
for Leiku because
Oh, you can go ahead and roll for perception, yes.
okay.
While you're doing that, Layla will turn to Kate and Locke, and she'll point at Kate and effectively ask her if she can make any form of antidote, to which Kate simply shrugs and says that she can try, but
Oh
she
wait,
will
fuck! I
need
forgot I have my bonus.
what is known as origin DNA, or an origin of some kind, meaning if this is coming from another individual or another entity, she'll need their DNA extracted in much the same way that they just did for Reich in order to actually make anything complete. To which Layla will then look towards the both of you and say, well, one of you needs to stay here and work on that, and the other one needs to go with. Because if my guess is correct, they're going directly to the source.
Okay, I'm gonna roll. I'm also going to announce I'm using my antennas to try and help me as well.
What was the 29?
That was just a roll that I. Oh. Okay,
Oh.
that was the roll without the bonus.
Continue
Now
on.
you can use whatever one you want.
Continue, Locke.
Or not.
I will just look and say, Kate is the better. Kate is the better at discovering these things. I will go. She can stay and work on this.
Kate will respond by patting the top of your head. It's saying that you shouldn't be so hard on yourself, but she takes all of the stuff that you've gathered and she starts to skip away. To which, Leiku, you start to examine both Catan and Reich, and you do make a harrowing discovery that both of them are cognizant.
Oh,
that
they're
is
in there.
horrible. They are in there. They can see
That's
what's
fucked
going
up.
on, though.
They can
They can't.
see, hear, sense, everything.
Okay, Leiku's gonna seduce them.
That won't work here.
Why not?
Oh my
We could
god.
break them out of it.
It's not how that works, unfortunately.
Another mind-affecting spell, but
I don't think Leiku's titties are powerful enough to solve this problem.
Not yet.
normally they
Not
are.
yet.
But terrifyingly enough, it seems that they are unfortunately aware of what's going on.
Well, then they at least know that we're with them, I guess.
I don't think that's any comforting thing to do.
I mean, it's better than them running off by themselves to go to who knows what.
Unless they don't want us to come with.
Well, that's too bad for them.
Aye.
What do you mean, why?
I said aye.
Oh, I thought you
It
said
means
why.
it means yes for you,
No, I
lovers,
know
and your
that.
strange tongue.
Shut up.
So is the group just gonna let them walk?
Yeah, we just have to go with them.
I say that we follow, but at least we will then
Discreetly, if we
address the
can.
people that are in the Thieves Guild. Those who can't sneak
Currently-
should try and trail a little farther behind.
I'm going to quickly make an extract of fool's gold,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to tuck a piece of gold on both Catan and Locke.
Okay.
Oh wait, no. No, never mind. It's
This just
only 10
reduces the
minutes per
value.
level.
Do you not know?
This wouldn't be classified as a curse, would it?
What is your intent with Fool's Gold?
Oh, wait, on there it says an hour. On the other one, it's just it was just a means of being able to track them. Because I always know where the
Can
gold
I
is.
track them? I thought it made them more vulnerable.
Oh, maybe it is. It just seemed to. Maybe it's just the. Oh, yeah, it is. It's vulnerability magic. I thought I'd read that I always knew where the gold was. I know I've read something along those lines, and I'm obviously mixing it up.
You might be mixing it up with another spell.
Yeah, so never mind.
That's fine
That
then.
won't do what I intended to do, so.
But it does seem like everyone is just gonna...
Does
let it
this
ride.
count as a curse?
I can't answer that question for you.
Lysandra tried a spell that would have dispelled curses earlier, but it failed.
Yeah, and it's because they're way more powerful than we are. Like
I still
like
say
that
that
as well.
Group B members should at the very least try and sneak or even turn invisible and trail a little farther behind. We don't want if this is going to be if this could be a trap, or as Layla says, could be leading the both of them towards their mother, which I hear is a horrible person. We can't all be around them, you know what I mean? We need to have a contingency plan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Okay.
On that note,
So yeah,
all of you, if I cast a spell on you, please just comply. You'll understand if it happens.
Please just comply. You'll understand what happens. Certainly not ominous.
Not
Can you tell us
ominous.
what spell you'd be casting? Is it like
Guards
some kind of
escape,
spell
which is much easier if you don't resist it. If you resist it, then it's harder to get you out of a sticky spot.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Non-compliance.
You
Alright, well,
malicious
I can turn
non-compliance.
Yeah, I have one ready to go. I will make a second extract of basic invisibility and give it to Duras and say, if... Oh, actually, is it just Group B that's going?
Well, I assume all of you are going. She just
all
suggested that
going.
those in Group B stealth. I presume Didas just wasn't a part of that because he's not a stealther.
Yeah, I'm not good at stealthing. Let
Okay,
someone
alright.
else do
Just
that.
Leiku and Locke.
So it's just me
Correct,
and
yeah.
Locke and Hissy.
And if I recall
Okay,
correctly,
I will-
Leiku can make herself invisible.
I
Locke,
can also make Hissy invisible.
can you?
Oh, you can make Hissy invisible. Okay.
Yeah, I can.
Right,
It's
that's
literally just called invisibility.
Oh, you have.
target becomes
I was talking
invisible.
about your class feature that you can just turn yourself invisible, not that you
Yeah.
had invisibility the spell. But yeah,
Okay,
so
alright.
you don't have to make an extra active invisibility
Okay.
lock. You could probably just make greater invisibility for yourself.
Yes, that would probably be.
I have one ready anyway, but
Yeah.
Oh.
it only lasts. It lasts a lot less time than
Then you might want to wait to use it.
invisibility.
So this
Yeah,
is what
that's
we'll do
why I
then.
have both on hand.
This is what we'll do then. We'll have Locke, Leiku, and Hissy roll for stealth, and Didas, you just won't. You'll be a part of the whole ordeal.
Yep.
Additionally, I will also cast Force Quiet on Hissy so that Hissy gets another bonus to stealth.
Well, how long does Forced Quiet last for?
I'm unsure.
So
It is time to check that.
That's what I'm checking. Only one round per level, so it won't
God
really.
fucking damn it, never mind.
It won't work in this
Okay.
particular instance.
Look, I know Hissy's a large creature and therefore will make invisibility kind of bad, but nothing's more terrifying than an invisible large cat.
Are you gonna cast invisibility on him then?
Yes, I am.
All right. Just keep in
I will
mind.
use my basic invisibility and keep the greater for later if it is needed.
Alrighty, so let's see. It's 1 minute per level. I'll say that that'll last long enough at your current level to get to where you need to go. So invisibility adds a plus 20 bonus to the stealth check.
Mm-hmm. Stealth. I'll roll for Hissy.
So go ahead, and the three of you go ahead and roll for invisibility. Is anyone from Group A going to attempt to stealth or no?
No.
Austin's actually really good at it, but he's
Yes,
also a
Leiku
bard,
has no
which isn't.
stealth. I'm wonderful.
But he's
should
also
go
a
do it
bard, which
then.
means that he can't really. Oh,
Yeah, go
I,
stealth with them,
I
then.
suppose if the time comes, I guess stealth wouldn't matter anyways.
Yeah, go stealth with them, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
Rosin will join along, I suppose.
So Rosin's gonna stealth, in which case you can go ahead and roll for stealth as well. Are you also casting invisibility on yourself?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Alrighty, make sure that you add the plus 20 bonus.
I have a question. Is the bun with Reich right now?
Is who?
The bun,
The
the
bread.
Manu, the bread.
How
The
about you
loaf.
call characters by their name and not what you think their nicknames are?
I mean,
Because the
Okay.
bun
It's-
can be
it's not
applied
an-
to guava.
It's not an
Oh,
I mean. I am asking
fair
you
enough.
explicitly so that I know who you're talking about.
Zamanu.
Please and
Zamanu.
thank you. No, Zamanu would be elsewhere as well. Because if the both of them were training and more or less getting grumpy because of headaches, they probably would have left other people alone,
Okay.
considering their characters. Regardless, yes.
Sammy is going to prepare a greater invisibility,
Okay.
just so that she can still take actions, and then she'll roll for stealth.
Are you using greater invisibility?
Da.
You do realize that it's 1 round per level, not 1 minute per level, right? Meaning it would not apply.
Oh. Then she'll just use one of her prepared invisibility basics.
Okay.
13 plus 20.
Oh no.
Oh boy.
Well then.
So that
Grass is
automatically
officially too fat.
fails.
Oof.
Your invisibility does not work when you attempt to cast it. However, I will tell you that trying to do such a thing in that manner is not very Kalnorian. So it seems that the Kalnorian gods have punished you for attempting to do so.
Oof.
Oh,
Regardless.
come on, I'm still learning.
Regardless. All of you continue to follow Catan and Reich when they lead you out of the city, down towards the southeast end of Kelmar, which goes around the desert, but into the rainforest. It's difficult to follow them, especially since the brush and everything else is quite thick. But they aren't running, they aren't sprinting, so even if they get a little bit ahead here and there, you do manage to catch up. However, after about, I'll say 30 minutes of tailing them into this rainforest, you see a log cabin. Very tall. Almost, not almost, it is 3 stories tall. It looks more like a manor or a mansion than anything else. To which all of you can go ahead and roll for perception as you approach.
Perception.
I ain't seen shit.
Ralphie don't see shit.
Yo. 2 19s.
Nice, nice. Okay.
Right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, that's good.
think
You
I
all
need to
pass,
stop
but I'll go
rolling
off of
inspiration.
Lysandra and Dedas. Lysandra and Dedas. When you approach, you see someone standing out on... Why did my Steam just load? Go away,
You
Steam.
want to play Night Rain? Ooh.
That's exactly what Steam opened up for, to download an update for Night Rain.
It knows.
You want to play Night Rain? Woo!
But I can't download it because Steam throttles internet just to download stuff, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Big yikes.
Alright, so... You see someone standing on the porch. At first, you can't quite tell exactly what it is that they're doing. But when you get closer and closer, you can hear that they're singing. None of you can seem to tell what this particular language is, though I will ask if anyone here has Abyssal.
Wait, wait. I
No.
think I do.
I don't. Damn.
Doras might.
No.
Yes, I do. I have it.
Hey.
Yo.
Dedas,
ayo.
you can go ahead. If linguistics is on your sheet, this is like one of the only fucking times it's
Nope.
ever rolled. You can roll that. If not, just roll a basic int check.
Oh yeah, that's gonna go great.
Do your best.
Holy
You fell
shit.
pretty hard.
Oh.
Okay.
Well then.
So,
A moment of clarity.
to the rest of you, it sounds like a symbol song in Abyssal for whatever reason. Dedas, you recognize it to be a lullaby, while you do not recognize a good portion of the words because it seems that this person is using some kind of anti-divination magic to prevent other people from understanding it. The moment you recognize that this is a lullaby, you can go ahead and roll for knowledge psionics.
Okay, that's better.
Leiku can see this person, right?
Yes.
Okay, Leiku. Using my antenna to figure out what she's feeling or thinking is not going to lift invisibility off it, is it?
No, it is not considered an offensive action.
I would like to do that then.
Alright, go ahead. Didas,
Perception
you
with my...
also rolled high enough to notice that this particular lullaby, as you start to study it and focus on it to try and figure out what's going on, you immediately make the connection that this particular lullaby is linked to the music that's playing in your mind. Leiku, you attempt to try and ascertain what is going on, and the moment you start to dig just a little deeper, you are blocked. And to make the connection, you have the exact same realization that Didas does. To which you can follow this up with Knowledge Arcana.
Ooh, yippee!
And you rolled high enough for it as well. You immediately connect the dots, and this is the caster. As a matter of fact, to reinforce it, the moment that Catan and Reich are, I'll say, about 10-15 feet away from this particular individual, she stops singing. And the moment she stops singing, the noise in your head immediately stops as well. To which Catan and Reich are immediately dispelled from whatever enchantment was clouding their mind. And the both of them now look up onto the porch and look their mother directly in the eyes. To which all she does is smile and say welcome home in the most sweetheart way that she can imagine, before she motions with her chin towards those who didn't stealth, which I think is Didas, Lysandra, and Sammy, because Sammy failed.
Spectacularly.
And she asks if the both of them are going to introduce their friends.
No?
Catan, I don't think would do anything. He is simply going to... In fact, you know what? He'll actually take a stand in front of his brother, almost protectively. Because I would assume that Catan and Reich are the closest ones towards her, right?
When you do that, her eyes will narrow and her smile will fade for just a moment. And she'll say, oh, come on now. They're your friends, aren't they? Aren't you going to invite them inside?
Catan will almost bite back. He'll go, they're my family too.
To which she'll smile again and say, all the better. You know, we've been missing you for quite some time. We also just finished dinner, so why don't you come in for a bite to eat? To which both Catan and Reich will need to make a will save.
Fuck. While this is happening, I'm assuming that the people that are stealthing are within earshot of all this, right?
Yes, they would be.
Okay, alright. Leiku is going to whisper to Hissy to go back to the palace to bring back reinforcements, as this is, confirmed. She can see the resemblance between Catan and this woman.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say. It's not... No.
Both fail, and the both of you are compelled to comply.
In the same way that they were before, just like conscious but unable to stop what's going on?
No, more along the lines of active hypnosis. Like you're fully aware of what's going on, and you're saying things that you normally wouldn't say.
Okay.
Like that whole feeling of you want to say no, but when you open your mouth to say no, your mind wants to say no, but you verbally speak the word yes. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, alright, then in that case, I guess he'll just start walking in.
My mind keeps telling me no.
Do I need to do anything for Leiku giving an order to Hissy?
No, that's fine, because he's your animal companion anyway.
Okay, cool.
Katan's not going to introduce his friends, because that was part of the order that she's giving.
Okay. This is Liz, Sammy, and Doras. He gestures in order.
Before walking inside, Reich will more or less follow. What about you three? Are you also going to go inside?
Yeah. Lysandra and Poppet are gonna follow them in.
It'd be rude to turn down an invitation.
I guess it would be.
Alright, so the three of you go in, to which the mother is very calmly waving her arm to motion everybody inside. Reich's the one that holds open the door and everything else. To which the mother then turns around and starts to make her way towards the door, and then she stops before she turns back towards everyone who's invisible, and she smiles at you before giving a small salute, going inside and closing the door behind her.
Oof.
I knew it.
Fuck. Where's Layla? Leiku's gonna look around for Layla.
So, now things get split up just a little bit. We will start off with the group inside, to which Didas, go ahead and roll for linguistics again, which is just an int check.
Yep.
Ooh, not a pass this time. So you
Yeah.
can't quite tell. But when all, I guess 5 of you, because it is 5 of you, when all 5 of you are inside and the mother closes the door behind, several of Catan and Reich's siblings are nearby, to which she does speak to them in Abyssal. These particular siblings do look at Catan and Reich with deep suspicion, before looking back at their mother, smiling almost maliciously, nodding along, and they vanish off into the house for a little bit. To which, to show you the siblings here to those that are inside, these are all 5 of the siblings, to which the names are also in order for those that would actually know their names. To which,
What?
while that is happening, the mother will start to go on and on about how she's so happy to see her children back home, that she's especially missed Catan for quite some time, especially since he went off to go do the captain training and everything else. And in the middle of that whole spiel, she does seem to pause, almost interrupting herself, as she turns to the rest of the group, and she excitedly explains what the captain program is in Kelnor, and how one gets into it, and why it's such a big badge of honor, to which the way that she talks about it almost seems like she's the one that's taking all of the pride and prize in relation to actually achieving it, as if she was the one to do it, or at the very least, she was the one that allowed it to happen. She then goes back to her original conversation, to which she talks about how it's such a happy coincidence that her children are back just in time for dinner, especially with guests in tow and all of that. any response from anyone.
I have to do it because this is in character for Liz. I don't want to do it, but I have to do it. Liz speaks up and goes, "Oh, it's such a happy coincidence, isn't it? Very happy, like you're singing, right?"
To which the mother will simply smile and go, "What, did you enjoy it? I saw you walking
I don't think
in,
it's my
so
style.
To which the smile will falter for just a moment. She'll go, "Well, that's fine. Maybe you'll enjoy our food too. We just recently hunted a rather large elk in the area. You like venison, don't you?"
I suppose I'll have to try it, now won't I?
"Of course." To which she'll walk you all into the living room and everything else. To which another sibling will come out, to which Catan and Reich would recognize it as the third sibling that's listed there. To which she will ask that particular sibling to go ahead and prepare the food, to which Catan and Reich get another will save.
Thank fuck, I was waiting for you to... I need to break out of this and get everybody out of here. It just kind of sucks that I am a blood rager.
Low whiz.
No, I have a low will save, period.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Duh! Curse you, bot, for giving me low rolls for the plot!
The answer is no for both, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But then we will go back out to those that are outside. You all wait around for a couple of minutes, to which I presume you would start talking with each other. This would be what? Leiku, Locke, and Razin? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay.
Leiku is frantically looking around for Layla.
Go ahead and roll for perception. Actually, no,
Yeah.
you don't have to. She didn't come with you.
She was armed to the teeth and she just stayed behind? Damn it.
She didn't come
Yeah, what
with
the
you.
hell?
Damn it.
Well, I did. Okay, turns to the both of them. Well, as you can see, he's not around us. I sent him back for reinforcement. What are we going to do? It is very clear that none of my compulsion spells are going to work, especially with that woman around.
I would think I could get us out with some magic, but I'm not sure if something will be blocked, and then how do we keep them from coming back?
I have some literal explosives.
It doesn't solve the issue that I brought up. If we get them out of here, how do we make sure they don't, go into another trance and come back?
I don't even know, because when I tried to read her, I got blocked.
I
You guys
think
sorry, go on.
taking her out is the only way to guarantee that won't happen again. I'm gonna say that this is something instilled quite deeply into both of them from a young age, that she can just activate whenever she is within a certain range of them.
You're not saying you're gonna sneak in.
I mean,
The first
I'm
part
pretty
was
sure.
more alarming. We know that she's an incredibly powerful caster.
We realistically have no idea.
I think that is a good point. We don't really know much. Do either of you have any way to scope this out a bit more? I'm sure you guys have.
I'm gonna mix up.
Case the joint.
I'm gonna mix up an arcane eye, and from where we are, can I see through the windows? Like, just see anything through the windows?
I'm just reading Arcane Eye. Let's see. You can put it and travel outside your line of sight. Track 30 feet, blah, blah, It sees exactly as you would see if you were there. Okay, so you can just send it in. There are windows, and as the three of you start to, I guess, move to the side of the house in order to do so, you would be able to see the family, or at least the mom and the rest of your group, inside chatting back and forth.
Okay, then I'm gonna use the arcane eye and put it, like, just inside of the window, so that I have a view of the actual inside without getting too close. Now, granted, she gave the impression that she knew exactly that we were out there, so this being invisible, it will probably still be seen, but it gives us an idea of what is going on inside.
Well, it is the size of an eye, so if you can place it in a position that people wouldn't casually look at, it can probably hide a little bit better. So are you sure you want to place it just directly on the window?
Well, I have to be able to see where
plant in
it's
there?
in.
You can create the arcane eye at any point you can see. Meaning if there's a window in the way, you can cast it through the window.
Yeah, that was my intention, was to cast it inside of the window, like inside the house, through the window where I can see.
Any place
I
in
suppose-
particular that you would like to try? Right now they would be in a dining room. The dining room has a relatively large table with a rather decorative chandelier. There is an open kitchen nearby. There is I think they're called islands, or something like that, that
I suppose
divides
the best place would probably
Is there a
be
plant?
trying to get it up in the chandelier.
up in the chandelier. Okay, that would be perfectly fine. You can put it up in the chandelier.
So, yeah, I will cast it and put the eye up in the chandelier.
Alrighty. Next, I would like the three of you to go ahead and roll for perception.
Wait, us too? Even though we're okay.
Leiku, Locke, and Rosin.
All right.
Oh my god, that inspiration is twice as good as every other one that I've rolled tonight.
Teehee.
Sorry, just got back. Do I gotta roll?
Perception.
Perception.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that.
Alright. You all succeed, but I'll go off at the top, to which Locke, almost immediately after you cast the spell, you hear rustling to your right. But when you look over, you don't see anything. However,
Great.
as you concentrate your sight, you can see the brush and everything else move around as if something is passing through it. You just can't see what it is.
I'm gonna burn an inspiration point to, as a standard action, craft where is it? There is a glimpse of truth, and when I consume it, I will have true sight for 1 round. There's
Interesting. Don't have true seeing as a thing?
No, for
Oh, that
Alchemist,
is
it's
that's
at
6th
6th.
level. Darn. Okay, I thought it was like a 5th level thing for most things. I guess it's just 6th for you. But alright, you use that, you cast the spell, you drink it, and you see 3 individuals starting to look around the brush to try and find all of you. The only reason why they can't see you is because you are currently using the brush to obscure yourself. But it is quite clear that they also can see through invisibility, through some way, shape, or form. Specifically, they are the first, second, and fifth child of the images that are there.
Fuck.
It's quite hard to see what their expressions may be, due to the fact that this only lasts for quite a small moment, and one of them does have their face covered. The fifth child simply seems angry, but it's angry in the type of way that they just always look grumpy. I'm sure you've run into people that always have resting bitch face. That's effectively what it looks like.
Yeah.
Catan.
But the first one has an obvious sense of bloodlust on their face.
I will quietly let both Leiku and Rosin know that we have company and they are fairly rapidly approaching where we are.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to cast the spell Mislead, and I'm currently invisible, would the body double that I create with the spell Mislead be visible or not?
No, as major image, which means it can be seen.
Okay. Where does it appear if I were to?
It always appears adjacent to you. Oh no, wait. No, the double appears within range. Meaning you can spawn it anywhere within 25 feet plus 5 feet per 2 levels after that.
Okay. Can it move farther than that range?
Yeah. It straight up says the double appears within range, but thereafter moves as you direct it, which requires concentration. But
Okay.
That's it.
Alright. Then in that case, Leiku is going to cast Mislead.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to have her body double kind of spawn in crouched, like curled up within the brush. Farther away in the opposite direction. And she's going to have the body double look like it's in a panic, stand up, and start running in the opposite direction. As if, like, running away to get help.
Alright, to which they both get to roll for... They actually all three get to roll for will save. Let's see, so... There's that one, and then... Oops. There's that one. Oh.
Jesus Christ.
And then there is this one. And then let's see what your spell DC would have been. So this is a 6th level spell, so it's a base of 16 plus your caster. Well, your casting modifier. What's your casting modifier?
Casting modifier is my charisma, which is my +7.
7. So 23.
Also, Mislead is boosted because it's a compulsion spell, so.
It's not.
Huh?
It's not. It's an illusion spell.
Oh, then why is the asterisk here? Okay, thank you.
Probably because you misread it when you read another spell.
Probably. My bad.
So, 1 believes it, 2 don't, to which you do hear them scuffle with each other for a brief moment, about when your image starts to run off, the other one starts to give chase. But you watch as one grabs the other, and they just speak loud enough to be heard, to which they tell them that it's fake and not real, to which the other one then calls out and says, "We know where you are now. We can do this the easy way or the hard way." To which the one that says that is the first one, the one with the very obvious bloodlust.
Can we see any other rooms inside of the lodge from here? Or the log cabin?
You can see the kitchen area, unfortunately. Because the kitchen and the dining room are right next to each other, and it's an open kitchen, so the only thing that's really separating them is just like a little barrier. But
there's no window on a higher floor that we can see into?
The second floor, you would only be able to see the ceiling of the second floor. You wouldn't be able to see the room itself.
I think upon hearing that and knowing that essentially part of the gig is up, Lake was going to cast haste on all of us. Give us an extra standard just in case we can do something.
I have a question about how the spell works.
What is the spell?
It is Bard's Escape. If the log cabin is in range, would Rosin be able to use that on everyone here to get into the floor above them, even though he can't see where the floor is? Can he just guess where it is? Because it does specify you don't even see it.
Need not be in line of sight of effect from your original position, but must be open locations on surfaces able to support the creatures teleported, except as noticed above. The spell otherwise functions as Dimension Door. So let's look at Dimension Door. Dimension Door, you instantly transfer yourself within range, blah, 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 blah. So I always do the thing that you can't just teleport to a place that you cannot see. So how this would work is that if you're going to try and teleport everyone into the second floor, what would happen is that you would teleport everyone to where you would see, which is at the ceiling, which they're what, like
would
10
make a
feet,
very loud noise the moment we fell.
10 feet off the ground, meaning all of you would then have to do an acrobatics check to try and land on the ground silent. Do the three of you think that you can do it?
Hold on, hold on.
Rosin will ask.
I'm gonna use another inspiration point to straight away
I can cast Force Quiet because it makes it so that we can't make loud noises.
You already cast a spell. Continue on.
I'm gonna make communal spider climb.
Okay.
And use it straight away to give all three of us spider climb.
Okay.
Let's see, 140 minutes, split 3 ways, so a lot. 40, about 45 minutes each, roughly.
Which is fine. That can help. So you cast Spider Climb, and then Rosin, you'll cast Bard's Escape.
Yeah.
To which everyone will then be teleported directly into that room on the second floor, right towards the ceiling. However, Spider Climb is not, like, automatic, if that makes sense. It gives you the ability to do so as long as you are touching the surface. So all three of you will still need to make an acrobatics check, but the acrobatics check is effectively to turn your body so that you can touch the ceiling.
Oh boy. Okay.
Which is a much easier acrobatics check to make than falling without making a sound.
Oh, Leiku. She's used to being acrobatic, but not this kind of acrobatic.
I thought that's flexible, not acrobatic.
I mean... that depends.
It's
I
all
can't talk about this on Twitch.
Alright, so Rosin, when you cast the spell, instantly transposing all of you, you all teleport into that second room. You all then immediately turn so that you can get one body on the ceiling. Just any body, so that you don't immediately fall to the floor. To which all three of you do succeed. And then thanks to haste, you then immediately move yourself out of view of the window.
I mean, we're still invisible, so like.
I have already
Yeah.
showcased that they can see you.
Oh right, that's right. They can still see us. Okay.
To which, as you hide in the corner, I'll have all three of you roll for stealth.
Presumably without the invisibility bonus.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll fucking take that.
Alright, you all hide in the corner, to which we'll go with Locke since you have rolled the highest. You look out just the tiniest corner of the window just to see if the siblings that were sent out to do whatever it is they were supposed to do see you. And you can tell that the three of them get into a minor verbal argument with each other as they go over to where you were, find nothing, and get upset in various different ways before they start to make their way back into the house, dropping the invisibility along the way. Then, when you turn over to examine the rest of the room, you see that the room that you teleported yourself into is some kind of animal pen. And in this animal pen rests a sleeping, giant tarantula hawk wasp.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's un Cazador.
I hate it.
It's a Cazador. I love these things.
Leiku thinking to herself, normally I'm an animal lover, I love all animals, but this one is literally Satan.
I hate these things worse than the death claws. If I'm gonna be honest.
Sammy
Tarantula hawk wasp, big frown.
Sammy really happy that Ghost is not around for this right now.
So, it is sleeping right now. What are the three of you going to do?
Well, Leiku doesn't want to risk making any noise to wake this thing up, since she doesn't know how perceptive this thing is and how deep of a sleep this thing is in. So Leiku's going to cast a message for both Locke and Rosin, saying that they should start stealthing out.
Can we see the exit from here?
Yeah, you can.
DM, not said out loud.
You would be able to.
Anything that could help.
I mean, you can turn
Not-
invisible again if you got it.
Are we out of invisibility?
Yes, you would have ran out of it.
Leiku can.
I also just
Leiku can turn
described that
herself
it
back
dropped because you used an offensive thing.
Leiku can turn herself back invisible, so.
Hmm. I
Yeah,
know
we'll
Locke
have
can
to
just.
spend
I know Locke can just drink
second.
another one. What
Yeah.
about Rosin?
I guess, can he cast it quietly?
You can attempt to.
Great.
You know what? In that case, Leiku's gonna cast Force Quiet onto you,
Okay.
I mean, I could
which
just
means
make sure.
you cannot make large sounds, and you get a +4 bonus on stealthing.
I guess I'll try to cast invisibility on myself stealthily.
All right, good job. Now what?
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna start sneaking towards the door, wherever
Let
it
Spider
is.
climb out of here.
I won't touch the door. I'm sneaking toward the door.
All of you can go ahead and roll for stealth.
Please don't let this tarantula hawk wasp be able to see through invisibility. Please.
Do I include the invisibility bonus this time? Oh, and I guess the muted bonus.
Yes. I
Well,
mean,
what
you're trying to stealth, so I would. The answer would always be yes.
what is the bonus for each of those?
20
forced-
and 4,
Yeah, Force Quiet gives you 4.
and invisibility gives you 20. All right, so you all stealth over towards the door, and as you do so, several of the floorboards squeak. And as you all freeze right next to the door, you all watch as the tarantula hawk wasp lifts its head from the ground and looks around, its mandibles and everything else chattering for a moment. And it seems as if it can see you before its head goes back down to the floor.
Is it looking away, or is it still kind of looking at us?
It then stands up
Fuck.
before walking very calmly over towards the door and going out the wasp-sized doggy hole that's at the bottom of it and making
There's
its
a
way down the hole.
wasp-sized doggy hole.
Yep.
How big is this giant tarantula?
Yeah, what the hell is this?
How big is this doggy door?
The tarantula hawk wasp was currently a medium-sized creature, so
Oh, okay.
So it's just a doggy door?
It's probably like a large doggy door then.
it's just a larger doggy door, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it fucking left.
Did the doggy door make any noise when it went through?
Not any more than normal doggy doors of the rubber flapping back and forth.
Okay. I didn't
You all
specify
sigh
touch.
in relief as it cannot see you.
I didn't want to specify touching the door in case the hinges creaked, but it seems we have a quieter way out.
The doggy door?
Oh, I'm sorry. Miss Thief, is this a little too low for you?
I have a fat ass.
Oh my god.
It is not fatter than the tarantula hawk ass. I'm sorry.
I think it is, actually. Flips.
Look at that thing.
The more noise you make, the more people hear you.
Okay,
I'm not making a
we're not-
noise.
This is
was
not
out
in
of
character.
I have to treat it as in character.
Fuck
Alright, you fucking bitch. Anyway,
Rosin will
Lake's
sneak through the
going
fucking
to-
doggy door.
Alright, the three of you can go ahead and roll for stealth.
Question,
while you're-
when I cast a spell,
Mhm.
can I choose to put it at the minimum? So if something is supposed to last a minute per level, can I specifically make it so it only lasts a minute?
Yeah.
Or does it have to be the maximum of like my current caster level?
No, you can determine how long you want it to be.
Okay, I'm gonna make two. I'm gonna make two reduced persons that will only last for 1 minute, and hand it to both Rosin and Leiku, and just say this will make it easier. Come down to my size.
Okay, thank you.
Was that before or after Rosin went through?
I would assume that it's before your roll. What it does is it just gives you a +4 bonus on dex, so you get a +2
Okay.
bonus. So I'll just add.
Okay.
the
I
thing.
will I will also cast Force
What's
Quiet on
67
myself.
plus 2, Shane?
69. You also get a +4 bonus on stealth on top of that due to being small. That's just how
well,
it goes.
Well, I already rolled, so.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna add the bonus here because you didn't know. All right. So you all go through the doggy door with Rosin going last, so that he can meticulously, slowly let the rubber back down, so that it doesn't flap back and forth. But as you're doing this, Locke, Kate did ask you to extract from the source. How do you plan on doing that?
Lake would
That
have also
happened
heard this
like
request,
out.
right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, everyone would have heard it. I'm just asking
Okay.
Locke specifically, because he was the one tasked to do it.
Leiku has an idea.
Well, let Locke go first, and then you can give your idea.
Okay. Rub.
I mean, honestly,
Remember, all she asked for was for DNA of the source.
Do you own a cat in real life?
I've had cats.
I wish.
Dogs are better.
Yeah, dogs are better, 100%.
What? Nannies!
Dogs are smarter. They're more loyal.
Excuse you? Have you met a
I like
fucking dog?
stupid cats.
Yes, I've met dogs. I know cats are way dumber from experience.
Oh my god, no. You just had an
Okay.
extreme bad luck with
Having-
cats.
Stay
Having
focused,
had-
stay
Having had,
focused.
Yeah.
Lot. Do you have an idea, or would you like to pass it off to one of your two teammates here?
Oh no, that requires me to consume blood. Don't need that, that's not going to help. Does anybody have an idea? Because quite frankly, my only idea is...
Leiku raising
Cats
her
shed-
hand.
the pointy
Cats
thing.
shed everywhere. If we could find just some spot where we know it's definitely her hair.
True. That's an
Why,
idea.
why
What's
don't we try
Leiku's
and
idea?
look for the master bedroom?
True.
I would suggest going to the bathroom because that would be the easiest, but also we might also like get DNA that we don't want. So we should find the master bedroom, the bedroom in which we know the head of the household would sleep at, and then extrapolate DNA from. Because
Okay.
if
That's
I
a good
remember
idea.
correctly, Katan's mother, as we can see, is catfolk, and Reich is like half human, half catfolk. So we can derive from that the human half is the
Yeah.
father. So any kind of cat fur DNA that we find in the master bedroom will be the mother's.
Sounds like a good plan. We need to find the master bedroom then. Also, I will take a moment to quickly check the arcane eye to see what is going on downstairs.
Hey, look, DM, this is a good segue.
I was actually going to use it as a segue. As we pan zoom transition over to the arcane eye, you know, window wipe, every single effect of old Microsoft PowerPoint insert here.
Like 5
Oh my
point stars
God.
circling
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
Yeah.
Hollywood scene transition.
Checkerboard wipe 2.
Exactly. Alright, so obviously you can't hear what's going on, you can only see, as they all seem to be just talking back and forth. At around this time, the mother would have effectively asked if the guests there could help set the table, as she was already in the process of doing so for her rather large family, but she didn't expect to have this many guests, to which what is it? It's really just Lysandra and Sammy, since Catan keeps going back and forth between being brainwashed and being not. So,
Please give me another chance, please!
Catan, you can go ahead and roll a will save, but Lysandra and Sammy, you can go ahead and roll for perception.
You forgot one person!
Yeah,
Oh, and did
Yeah,
I?
there's
Sorry.
not here.
Didas, Lysandra, and Sammy, you can roll for perception. Catan, you can roll a will save.
Oh, is this good enough?
Alright, Catan, it is not good enough.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
You,
That's
you,
18!
you unironically do need to nat 20.
This is shit!
damn.
You unironically do need to nat 20. I didn't think it would be a 7. I thought it would be at least a little higher, but it is
I'm a
not.
blood rager.
I know, I just thought your will would be, your wisdom would be a little bit higher. But I think you only have the belt. You never picked up the headband, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably why
I didn't have
was-
enough money for the headband, otherwise it would be good here.
That's why I was thinking it was probably that, but that's okay. You do need to nat 20 to get over it, though.
Katan's just dazed, but internally he's like flinging slurs because he's so frustrated.
Yeah, so you are thinking and trying to say those words. It's just the words out of your mouth are, "Yes, mother, of course I'll help set the table." Before going and doing it.
God, this would piss him off so much.
Yes, mother. Of course, mother. Anything else, mother?
But the rest of you did succeed, but we'll go off of Sammy. Sammy, even though she says that she didn't expect this many guests to be available for dinner, when you go and look at the table and start counting the chairs that are there, it accounts not only for her whole family, to which you would have been told how many kids there are plus parents, so it's 9 in total for the whole family, but also enough chairs for every person that you know personally as well.
You know, for not expecting guests, you seem oddly prepared.
To which she'll turn towards Sammy and go, you know, for the purposes of decor, because this table is quite large, I like things to be a little balanced, you know? I'm sure you understand something like that, of someone of your stature and nature. She says, dismissively waving her hand.
I suppose I understand preparedness. But there's a difference between preparedness and expectation, no?
Are you saying that I expected to have this many chairs at my dining table? As I just said, I wanted things to be even and balanced. You can count the chairs there. There's the same amount on one side as it is on the other. Besides, I'm only asking you to help set up for 3 plates.
I suppose that much is doable. Especially since we are guests in the home. It would be my pleasure.
To which you all start to set up and everything else. And she goes, so, dearest, turning to Catan since Reich isn't here, how about you tell me a little bit about your adventure? What were you doing for the past 4 years?
I'm assuming this the effects that I'm under, I wouldn't be able to tell a lie, would I?
You can go ahead and roll for a will save.
Come on.
Nat 20, nat 20,
Please,
nat 20!
please, Catan,
Just
please.
roll a 1d20. No!
No!
Okay, but okay, can I withhold information? I can't
You rolled
lie.
high enough that while you're still under the effects of this mind control, you are resisting enough that you do not have to explicitly tell the whole truth. But you cannot lie. Does that make sense?
Okay, I can't I can withhold information, I cannot lie.
Correct.
Okay. And the mother's question was what I was doing all this time?
For the past 4 years.
Traveling and learning a little more about myself.
Oh, how interesting. Where did you go?
Damn it, this one I can't. I can't twist the truth, can I?
You can go ahead and roll for a will save.
The sounds and the screams are Catan's inner monologue. He's screaming and pulling at his hair.
So, now I get to reveal the second mechanic. Every single round that you fail the will save, you effectively get a +1 bonus to that save. I've been keeping count of it, so you don't have to worry about it. But it then resets once you pass, which means this 19 is enough to pass.
Okay.
You haven't broken free, but you are resisting it against this question.
Can my mother tell that I am resisting it enough for me to be able to lie?
I cannot tell you that answer.
Okay, well, he's gonna fucking try. Really, it's just Telduria and back.
To which her eyes narrow for a moment, and you can tell that this, because you're her son, this immediately, and I mean immediately, pisses her off. she holds her breath for a moment, and she goes, well, of course. I already know that. But where else were you in these past 4 years? Go ahead and make another will save.
Okay. God.
To which, just like with the 11, you can no longer lie, but you are allowed to withhold information.
Can I make a remark instead of answering the question?
Are you asking me to ask a question? Just say what you want
I'm
to
not-
say.
What?
No.
I am asking you to make a remark.
Just say what you want to say, and I'll determine whether or not you can say it.
Okay. Come now, Mother. I've been gone from home for so long. Everybody here already knows the travels as I've been traveling with them my entire time. I am honestly more curious about the family. And I'm sure my friends would also be interested in it too.
Her lips
As their
grow
guest.
a little tighter, and again, only you can see that she's clenching her teeth behind her face, because she's very good at controlling her muscles to not appear how she doesn't want to be seen. And she goes, that is true. To which she'll turn towards the nearest friend, which that is Dras, and she'll go, pray tell, War Priest, where have you been with my son for the past 4 years? To which Didas, you can see that her eyes are narrowing in on you. You can tell that she does not want to participate in this little game that Catan has set up, but to try and appear amicable, she is playing along, but the walls are starting to slowly fall apart.
Good.
Damn.
Well, Duras isn't
Well-
under the effects of the spell that Catan is under, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, we've not met too long ago, so we came from Telduria together. Just happened to be in the same boat.
She goes, oh, so you're saying my son is a liar? And she slowly turns back towards Catan, to which Catan, you were saved by the sibling who was making food, literally in the nick of time, as he announces that food is ready. And then I would like you to roll a perception check for Hissy.
Okay. Where's my cat? There's my cat. What a good boy. What a good boy! What a good boy!
Yo!
All right.
Hissy.
And then this will be for quote-unquote dramatic effect. Hissy has ran away from the house. He ran back, to which... What's his speed again? 50?
His speed, let me just double check this. It's a... What the fuck? It's 40. Okay, that's 40, I
Okay,
guess.
it might have shrunk because of size, that's fine. But 40. Running back about halfway there, he stops, sniffs the air, and then immediately turns around. To which he finds Layla there, her eyes just ablaze with anger and rage. And she looks at the cat and says, I know you can talk. Tell me everything. We'll go cut back to the thieves inside the house now.
Okay, alright.
To
So-
which, turning back time just a little bit, you have suggested that everyone go and try and find the master bedroom to find cat hair, specifically to get that extract of DNA.
Correct. We're aiming to find the master bedroom so that we can find cat hair and acquire it.
Yes. So that means the three of you can go ahead first with perception.
Mm-hmm. And is a haste still on us?
Yeah, I would say so, but that doesn't do anything other than give you a standard action.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure because, the faster we can get this done, the better.
Correct. So first for perception. Alrighty. One of you did pass, so that's good. Which means then all three of you need to roll for stealth. Also, with those last 3 rolls, you have breached 20,000 EXP.
Yay!
Nice.
Do I still have the bonuses from both invisibility and the
Yes.
Yeah.
other thing?
I'm so yip.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, fuck.
Oh no.
Alright, so as you were walking...
Thinking
Was it?
for getting rid of a critical would be just as bad, wouldn't it? Because you have to make a performance.
Huh?
Doesn't Rosin have something for getting rid of a nat one?
I can get rid of
It would be a performance.
failed saves.
Oh, so
Yeah, and it does require performance, though. That wouldn't be too much of an issue because I can start and end them as a free action.
Yeah.
Ah,
But, alright, so as the 3 of you were walking down the hallway and everything else, turning the corners, trying your best to do everything silently, Rosin, you stub your toe against one of the, I guess, nightstands that just line the hallways. Your invisibility immediately drops. You yell out, just fuck, for a moment, before immediately covering your mouth, and you all start to hear movement. Thank fuck you are under haste. Rosin, what are you going to do?
Okay, check this shit out.
Check this shit.
Am I? We're in a hallway, yeah.
Yeah. Presumably
We can't-
nearby the master bedroom thanks to Locke's perception.
How nearby?
Outside the door.
Okay, well, Rosin's gonna cast Blink on himself and walk through the fucking wall.
The noises that you hear are coming from inside the master bedroom.
Rosin's
What?
gonna cast
Oh, no.
Blink on himself and move to the opposite wall. Peace out,
Rosin,
homies.
you cast... let's see. What is... let me
It's
look at
just the
word.
fucking Simpsons scene. Just
Wait, what are the walls made out of?
Wall.
Wow.
What
Floor
material?
is made of floor.
Made out of wood. I said a log cabin, didn't I?
It's wood? Okay, I'm gonna tree stride.
I don't think tree stride does anything here.
Why not?
Look at all this text.
Because it's
God damn, what a wonderful spell.
trees, not logs.
What a wonderful spell. Look at that fucking 5
But is this to imply that a log is not a tree?
Yes.
Must be living.
Is a corpse a
Yeah.
person?
Wait, what?
It says
A
it
corpse
must
is
be
not
living.
a person. A corpse is a corpse. A log is a log. It's not a tree.
Oh.
There's a reason why we have different words for them.
Meow 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 meow.
I mean, you're not the one that dropped invisibility. It was just Rosin. So you both
I
watch
wanted
as
to-
Rosin just goes, oh, and just Homer Simpsons into the wall opposite of the master bedroom, to which, Rosin, you find yourself in a bathroom.
Okay.
To which the remaining 2, Locke and Leiku, you notice as someone else steps out of the master bedroom, to which you can only presume to be the father. Both of you can go ahead and roll for perception.
I'm detecting a hint of edge.
You get the Nightingale armor.
It's actually chosen on purpose. I explicitly tried to find good art of the Nightingale armor.
Oh, so as a strip is cool.
So, you both look over at this particular individual, trying to ascertain who and what they are. But you can immediately tell, due to the magical nature of the clothes that they're wearing, you can't ascertain their identity. You can't tell where they're looking. You can't tell if they're looking at you. And the both of you sit there holding your breath for several moments before the man simply shrugs his shoulders and walks back into the room, leaving the door open.
I'm so confused. Didn't they say that dinner was ready? Okay.
Like I said, we were turning back time a little bit.
Okay. The door is open, though.
Correct. So what are the three of you gonna do? Because Rosin, you blinked into the nearby bathroom.
Well, Rosin will look around the bathroom for any cat fur, and I guess he'll just start pocketing anything.
Go ahead and roll for perception.
Yeah, while you're here.
You grab it all sorted out later.
God damn. Okay, well, the door is open. Leiku will look at Locke and just kind of... You know what? Actually, she doesn't even have to, like, try and gesture. Look, she'll just cast message. She'll just ask him, I know Rosin is not here right now. Should we go in? This might be our only opportunity. But
This could
man
be our
looks
only
dangerous.
opportunity. But at the same time, he did leave the door open, so we might be walking into a trap.
Should we wait?
I don't know that we really have the
time.
Yeah,
Then we will have
don't
to
really
chance
have the
it,
time.
won't we?
Yep. Best thing we can hope for is that if this goes wrong, we can both get out.
Okay,
All right.
then let's do it.
Both of you go ahead, roll for stealth. While you're doing
Oh, I
that,
forgot to add the
Rosin,
other
you
bonus.
explore the bathroom to try any amount of cat fur, to which you do find cat fur. You are allowed to roll another perception check for it. You rolled high enough as again. So you examine the cat fur, and this particular cat fur does not match the color of the mother.
Damn.
Leiku and Locke, you do your best to sneak into the room. Thankfully, the door is open wide enough that you don't have to try and push on the door to allow yourselves in. And when you get into the room, you see that the father is in the process of cleaning. There are several different forms of cleaning appliances, like a duster and all, just like a magical vacuum or something similar to it to pull dirt out of carpet and whatnot. And the bed itself seems to be completely unmade. The sheets themselves are cluttered and crumpled up, set off to the side. There are various sets of clothes, to which the clothes are very obviously dirty, but they are also separated from clothes that are very clearly masculine and clothes that are very clearly feminine, at least separating the clothes between the mother and the father. And the father himself, you catch him walking into the attached bathroom that is in this bedroom.
Okay. Leiku's going to cast message again. And say, Locke, your best bet is in the clothes. I'll look on the bed, just as a contingency.
Okay, be careful.
I'll try.
And Locke is going to approach the pile of clothes that are feminine, and unless I hear the sound of the dad coming back into the room, I'm going to try and find hers. But if I hear the sound of him coming back, I'm just going to grab a handful of clothes and just put them in my bag of holding.
Okay, go ahead and roll for perception. And what is Leiku doing?
Leiku is going to the. Wait, hold on. Do we still have spider climb?
No.
Yeah, we had it for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long
Okay.
ass time, so you would, yeah.
I just wanted to get off of the floorboards. I'm looking at the bed. I'm looking at the bed for cat hair because seems that.
Are you getting on the bed?
No, I'm not getting on the bed. I'm going onto the wall that the bed frame is touching, the
Okay.
headboard.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for perception. And while that's
Okay.
going on, Rosin, would you be doing anything, or are you just gonna wait in the bathroom?
Still haste, yeah.
Yeah.
I just cast invisibility on myself and walk back out through the wall quietly.
Okay, roll for stealth then. You only got the invisibility bonus, which is a plus 20. Alright, so Locke. The DC was a 40.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I looked at Cynicals.
Literally, that inspiration is the only thing that saved you. Nice. Alright, so you do find quite a lot of cat hair there. As a matter of fact, this seems to be a golden treasure trove of it. You take each shirt that you can, shaking as much as you can into, I'll just say some kind of flask that you got, or a small petri container. As best as you can, until you have, we'll just say, a relatively sizable clump of cat hair. Leiku, you obviously can't see anything, and then Rosin, when you pass through the wall again, you see that the bedroom door is open and that none of your friends are there. However, it would be at this point that all three of you hear someone yelling up the stairs that dinner is ready. To which the dad will then slowly come out of the bathroom and start to make his way downstairs, to which the three of you have one last stealth check to not get caught.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh.
Why is the bot so mean to me with the...
Oh.
No, the bot's just trying to give you character.
I saw a one and I panicked.
Me too. Like, thank God
They're
there's
right next to
one.
each other.
Alright. You all stay stock still as the dad walks out of the bedroom, closing the door behind him, and going down the hallway opposite of Rosin, thankfully, and eventually going down the stairs. What are the three of you gonna do now? You gonna follow after him?
Well, since Locke has the hair, you should probably secure yourself and leave the area immediately.
I mean, I can if you guys are sure about me just leaving.
I mean, I don't want to risk you getting caught and then having the specimen tampered with or taken away. You know what I mean? It is kind of important that they
Yeah.
don't get under this effect ever again.
It would be with a heavy heart that he does it, but with the understanding that my mission from Layla was to get the sample. Locke's gonna head for a window and slip out of it.
Leiku will then turn to Rosin and essentially ask, like, gesture if we should follow or if we should leave.
Does Rosin see this? Wasn't Leiku in the bedroom, and then Rosin's out in the hall, and there's a closed door?
Correct,
and they're
Rosin's
both
out in the
invisible.
hall.
And
Oh,
they're
is it
both
closed?
invisible.
Closed door.
Yeah, I said he closed the door.
Also, Shameless has made this clear. The people that are under the effects of invisibility can
see each
Oh, I
other.
forgot about that.
And see each
Yeah.
other.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for reminding me. I completely forgot.
It's to make it things easier when you're all next to each other, so that you can at
Yeah.
least continue to play without having to deal with that paradox.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose Group A hasn't done too much, too much running
stealthing,
around with
yeah.
invisibility.
Vega has had experience with this. Alright, so the door is closed. Lake was gonna have to open it to look for Rosin, isn't she?
All right. To which, since Locke, you're leaving in general, you can go ahead and make, I'll say do 3 separate stealth checks. Go ahead and roll them one after another. And then when that's done, you'll, assuming that you succeed, so that's 1, that's almost an at 20, and that's 2 and 3. All right, so now Leiku, you can go ahead and roll for stealth, as Locke, I guess, effectively exits the story for a little while. To which you then go outside and find Rosin, to which the question then becomes, are the two of you going with Locke here? Or are you going to try and stay in the house since your other friends are still here?
That's essentially what Lake was gonna try and sign to Rosin.
He doesn't have drow sign language.
Lake was not even doing proper sign language. She's just
Oh,
gesturing to the window
just
and then
gesticulating.
gesturing down the hallway and then shrugging.
Roz is just gonna point downstairs.
Okay. Lake, who's not one to leave somebody behind. She will go with Rosin as backup.
So the both of you are staying in the house?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Alright, so I'll need another stealth check from the both of you. One of them was locked and loaded and ready to go.
I just pressed up on the keyboard.
I just pressed up.
Oh, okay. Alright. So, the both of you start to sneak your way down the stairs. Thankfully, you aren't heard, even though the bot is trying your patience with one of you. To which we then go back to the other group, to which you watch as the other group are in the process of sitting down, to which those that were there with the mother are surprised that she isn't in the process of talking, to which the three of you can go ahead and roll for perception, that being Dedas, Lysandra, and Sammy. Catan, you can also do another will save.
You motherfucker!
Oops, that's wrong. Alrighty. Oh, and you're at 30,000 EXP now. Good job, everyone. Clap, clap, clap.
Yay!
So, you unfortunately do not pass. But those that were rolling for perception, you are examining the mother, to which you can all tell that she got extremely worked up and was doing her best to hide her anger. And the 3-4 minutes that it took for everyone to gather around the table and calmly introduce themselves, with the exception of the father who simply makes a grunt and a nod. The three of you get to watch as she eventually calms down. You do get to watch the other siblings interact, and because there's fucking 5 of them, I'm not going to go through every single major interaction and try and roleplay that out. But it is
No,
quite
DM, do
clear that the other 2 are kind of out of their element. Catan is targeted by the other 5 and lightly teased and lightly bullied, to the point where it's very clear that those 5 do view him almost like an outsider. But those 5 also ridicule Reich, but it's not because they view him as an outsider, but because they all feel a little betrayed, to which they wonder why it took him so long to find Catan, since Catan's not very good at stealthing, they try and bully him for, at least. They know that Catan has a loud mouth, they say, continue trying to bully him, and that he would always get caught if you're just trying to look for him because he sucks at it, again, trying to bully him. To which Reich is then immediately at an impasse, to which I can go ahead and roll. I'll roll 3 will saves for him, considering the situation. A nat 1, a 16, and a 15. To which he straight up admits that the very first thing that he did was go to the Thieves Guild to try and find him, because he thought it would be the easiest way to do so. And for some unexplained reason, he doesn't know why the Thieves Guild were so inept at getting him that information. And the way that he says this makes the siblings side with him at least a little bit. But the mother seems a bit distrusting of this, and she grills into him again to try and ascertain even more information, to which he gets 3 more rolls, to which he seems to start resisting the brainwashing a little bit more. But he is also telling the truth at the same time, effectively explaining that he doesn't particularly know. He passed a lot of that information off onto another member of the Thieves Guild, that being Layla, because they are in such a high position that they would certainly be able to find that information. And as they go back and forth, the mother effectively accuses Layla of hiding information on where to find Catan, attempts to drag Catan into the conversation to get him to agree, but stops because obviously he wouldn't fucking know. But
Stupid.
the dad then speaks up and reminds her that she's getting a little worked up and that she should instead focus on her meal. To which I think it was the 3rd kid is what I said is... Yes, the 3rd kid. Is the one that goes and gets the food and starts to hand it out to everyone. To which Didas, Lysandra, and Sammy can once again roll for perception.
Can I roll to break free?
You can roll another will save, yes.
I want to break free. Fuck! Catan's in the sunken place.
Sammy?
He is muted, so...
Oh, there's
Oh,
no...
okay.
Yipe!
Okay. He simply hands out everyone's food, takes his seat, to which the mother then stands up a little bit, motions over to her son who just made the food, and effectively asks him to detail exactly what he's made. The food itself doesn't look professionally made, but it's not sloppy either. Like, it doesn't look like crap, if that makes sense. But it does look vaguely amateurish, I guess is the best word. You are effectively eating elk or venison, a form of gamey meat that has some kind of sauce over top made out of onions and carrots, both wild variations thereof, with a side of mashed yam from their garden. It's a very basic meal, a little hearty, and there was some care put into everything, but like I said, it looks a little amateurish. And after that, she congratulates him, to which he nods along and thanks his mom and stuff like that, before she simply motions for everyone to dig in, to which the 5 siblings, the father and the mother, slowly and as politely as possible start to dig into their food, to which it's quite clear by the way that they do it that they're trying to mitigate the noise that the silverware makes against the plate.
Can I detect magic on my plate of food?
Go ahead.
Okay. I do it. I detect magic on my plate of food.
Well, actually, let me rephrase. Are you sure you want to do that? Because doing so may or may not cause everyone to notice.
I was about to say,
Lysandra-
doesn't that thing have a somatic component?
It's not
Lysandra-
even that. It's, let's just say on the off chance it is magical in some way, shape, or form, it would glow, and everyone would
Oh.
see that.
I
Okay.
guess that's fair.
I
Since
thought-
Katan's kind of out of it, I'm gonna go pee. I'll be right back.
I thought it would only glow for like Lysandra who casts the spell, so it
That's
glows
not
like no
how
matter
it
what.
works.
Okay. Well, that's why I'm asking, because I thought it did something different.
But you've used it before and do know that other people see it glow.
I didn't. That's why
I
I'm
didn't know
asking.
that either. I thought it was just for you.
No, it's
Yeah.
it's for everyone.
Okay, good to know.
Because that's
Okay.
how I've always explained it.
The communal glow stick.
The communal glow stick. No, Lysandra's gonna do it anyways.
You're gonna do it anyway.
I feel like this is what Lysandra would do.
Okay. Before you cast that, I'll go and ask the same thing to Didas and Sammy if either of you would eat the food.
Sammy's more just cringing at it. The cook in her is like, oh, this isn't seasoned right.
No, it's not that. It's that it looks vaguely amateurish. Like the plating isn't all that nice looking. Not that the food is poorly made. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's still just critiquing it in her head, though.
Alright. Well, are you gonna eat the food, or...?
Yeah, she'll have a bite.
Okay, what about you,
It'd
Didas?
be
Yeah, I think I'll also eat a bit, very slowly, but I'll eat a bit.
Alright, so Didas, Sammy, you pick up your fork and knife and you cut into the elk. You scrape up a little bit of the mashed potato and start to chew and eat. And Lysandra, you're sitting there, looking back and forth at everyone. And the mother looks over and notices this and says, "Aren't you going to eat your food, dear?" To which your response is to silently sit there, stare back, and then just cast Detect Magic. To which you lock eyes with her, immediately knowing what is up, because the food glows.
Great. Love that.
This is then immediately interrupted as both Didas, Catan, and Sammy immediately fall asleep, collapsing onto the table in front of them.
okay. Question.
Damn.
Question. Is this sleep due to poison?
It wouldn't matter, it's Arcana Toxin.
Fuck.
Which is why it glows, because it's magical in nature.
Oh no. I'm the only one awake.
No, Reich is also awake.
Oh good.
He was not poisoned. To which Reich, once again, is going to get 3 rolls. 1, 2, and 3. To which he is calmly eating his food. So when the mother confronts you, she effectively drops the facade. And she goes, "Oh, so you figured it out, haven't you? Congratulations! You willingly walked into a house surrounded by enemies." To which she, the dad, and all 5 siblings start to stand up, except for Reich. To which you can notice is actively struggling to resist the brainwashing.
Oh, okay. Go right, go. Oh,
What is your last
no.
action before they start to do something?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's a poison, right? It's an Arcana poison. You said that.
Yes, you didn't eat it, that's why you didn't fall asleep.
Is Sammy within range of touch?
Yeah, she'd be sitting pretty much right next to you.
I touch Sammy and I cast Neutralize Poison.
Alright, you immediately reach over, cast Neutralize Poison. Let me actually see if that works. Give me a second.
I don't know if it does. I don't
Can
know. what else to
Leiku and
do.
Rosin see what's going on?
I was gonna get to you guys next.
Okay.
That's why I did her first, because she's obviously sitting right there.
I made a mistake, guys.
Give me a moment,
Yeah.
because I have to double check. It is technically still a poison. It's just magical in nature to bypass resistances. Due to the fact that's why Sammy goes to sleep. They don't even get a roll because of the way that it's ingested. This would... Now let me read neutralize. Neutralize poison. If the target,
Guys,
you
I'm
must
so
make
fucking
a... Okay, so you still have to make a caster level check against the...
So that's D20 plus 14, right?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, nat 20, yeah!
Nat 20. Nice.
Good luck,
All right.
Sammy.
So, Sammy, the poison is immediately expelled from your body, and you get up. However, that technically is your turn, your action. So we actually go back over to Rosin and Leiku.
The meat was under-seasoned.
Vengeance got to be marinated for a good while too. It's pretty tough.
Okay, alright.
So we'll start off with Leiku. What would Leiku be doing?
Considering that she used, what was that spell? Yeah, mislead. And even though one person got fooled and two of them knew that it was a trick, they essentially got into an argument because Leiku was gone anyway. Surely there's a higher chance they're gonna believe that if she were to show up outside of the window of the house, that she is in fact there.
They still get a will save. Are you going to do mislead like that? Let me see what the distance is. Oh, yeah, it's you'd have the distance to do it. Yeah, you're fine.
I would have the distance for this. Yes. I'm going to have body double Leiku appear at the window, but look like as if she's trying to peek in. You know?
All right. Let's see. So 70-20. If the average one's in at 20, and the average is and your thing is a 23, I know that. So if I make the average a 16, because it is, that means they have to roll a 6 or lower. So every single one of them would pass.
God damn it!
However, they do all look over at it, which does leave them momentarily distracted. Rosin, what are you going to do?
Do I still have haste?
Yes.
Okay. I want to try to use Bard's Escape on every one of my allies and myself to get outside.
You can't see all of your allies from the stairway.
Fuck.
Well, you can move, right?
I can move, can't I?
Yes, this would be a double move action to get over there, though, unfortunately.
Well, you have haste.
I wanted to use my other one to do something else, but I guess I'll just try the Bard's Escape.
Well, they are distracted, so the double move action would move you within range to see everyone, which we can do that since obviously it's just a standard action to cast the spell anyway. Leiku, would you be following? So that you can at least still be within sight of Rosin.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay, so you would be following along as well. It would be then at this moment that a massive portion of the wall that is next to the dining room explodes.
What?
To which...
Rosin already... Sorry.
You go ahead, what are you trying to say?
Rosin was going to position people in a specific manner if he did successfully cast off the spell first.
You had to do a double move. That's why I said you were just moving into position to see everyone first.
I have an extra standard, which would let me cast a spell.
Yes.
So I'm wondering did he have time before that happened?
I'm talking about that this double move would eat up your standard action to cast the spell, because your previous move was to go onto the stairs since all of this was happening at the same time. This is why Leiku only had one extra action to do a single movement to follow you. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
I thought I was on the stairs. I used my double move to get into position, and that would still leave me with a standard.
No, sorry if I wasn't clear. Your first
okay.
movement action was to get to the stairs and effectively stealth so that you can see and hear part of what's going on. Then the double move action would put you in position to cast the spell effectively next turn.
Damn it.
And then Leiku got a single move action to move so that you would still be able to see her so that you can cast the spell and still drag her with you. To continue, the wall explodes. There are multiple explosions that happen here, and when the smoke immediately clears after, you find both Layla and Hissy on the other side. Layla immediately throws 3 more grenades at the first person that she sees, which I'll throw a 1d7, which is the first kid that's listed there up in general, who is actually relatively close to where the mother and father are. This then immediately causes for everyone near the table to roll for a reflex. Reich and Catan, you both get a will save on this first before everyone else rolls.
Okay.
DX. My first roll is for me, and then my second one is gonna be for Papa.
And then Lysandra, Sammy, go ahead and make a reflex save. Oh, Sammy just went BRB.
First one is me, second one is Papa.
And then Catan, you actually rolled high enough to break it. You can go ahead and make a reflex save.
Okay. Reflex. Okay.
I will then roll for Sam. God damn it, I didn't want to open up Steam. You dirty little slut. Damn it. Alright there, Steam. Alright, let me go to Sammy's sheet to roll the reflex, to which that's a 16. 25. Perfect. Alright. So, I then need to double check another sheet.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
What I missed?
We rolled for you.
I'm making a reflex save against a bomb.
Then there's that. Okay, so...
Damn, my reflex save is good. What?
Alright, so due to the fact that Dadas and Reich were not having a good time due to Reich being unable to break it and Dadas being unconscious,
Stupid, yeah.
the both of you take 105 damage from the explosive grenades that explode right nearby. The damage would normally be much higher. However, the table is in the way and it mitigates some of the damage. So both of you just take a straight up 105 points of damage. Dadas, you do not wake up from this, unfortunately. Though you do fall to the floor. Reich does fall to the floor as well due to being caught off guard. To which then all of the family immediately gets up and starts to do whatever they can in order to just attack the group. However, they all do direct their attention specifically towards Layla. The first one, I'll go just in order of the kids that you see them. The first kid immediately tries to make her way directly towards Layla, to which it is quite clear that the intent is to grapple and or rip her in half. This does allow Hissy to take an action to block her or at least try and knock her down or knock her away. So what would Hissy do?
I think he would be using both of his claws to essentially slash and also push her back.
All right, go ahead and roll, I guess, for both attacks there, one for each claw. While you're doing that...
Oh, hold on a second.
Mm-hmm.
I think Leiku, no, for Hissy will then... Leiku essentially can activate the collar, right, at any time?
Yeah, it's just a verbal command.
Okay, alright, then I guess she'll activate the collar and make him bigger to also make, to make the force of Hissy's pushback increase and also be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, you just make him rage, basically. So go ahead and do that.
Okay. $36.
I said both attacks.
Oh, shit. Okay, well,
Nice. Alright, both of those hit. You can go ahead and roll for damage.
Okay. Both of these would be a claw. Wait, hold on. Since they hit with a claw... No, never mind. He's not gonna bite. He only wants to push her away. Right.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so that's the damage. So, Hissy does manage to push this person away, to which, due to the sudden explosion in size, and Hissy effectively pushing forward and using that as momentum, they are straight up knocked off of their feet and pushed out of the way, effectively falling prone. The next one stands up and casts a spell directly at Layla. She takes 46 points of damage, to which she also catches on fire at the exact same time. Another one flicks their hands, to which you notice that this is the one who prepared the food, and Arcana Toxin immediately starts to seep out of his forearms and onto his hands, to which his claws then sharpen. The next one then makes a gaze directly at Layla, to which Layla resists it in that moment. And then the last one pulls out both of their claws, to which they start to glow with enigmatic magic energy, before going into a blood-raging type trance, honestly, before they too start to charge directly at Layla. Layla then turns, pulling out the fuck you, directly at that child, and fires it. To which all of you who are conscious and awake watch as the mother steps in front and deflects the shot.
Oh.
We then go back to the group, to which we'll start off with Rosin. Rosin, what are you going to do?
Do I still have haste?
Yes.
Okay. Change of plans, unfortunately, due to the situation. I will be using Barge Escape. Everyone should be in range of that, all player characters at least.
Let's see. I gotta read it again. Give me just a moment.
They have to be within 30 feet of each other. Rosin himself doesn't count against that 7.
Mm-hmm.
Are all player characters within range for this?
Everyone actually is, including Layla and Hissy.
Perfect. Okay. This is going to be very, very specific. I need to be careful how I phrase this.
The only two that I would say that aren't are Reich and Dadas, because Dadas is unconscious and Reich is currently brainwashed.
Does that mean Rosin can't teleport them?
I
Or
don't...
they're out of range?
No, not that. Would you be able to teleport an unconscious creature? Would that count as willing?
If they want to make a will save against it, I guess. I don't fucking... This is up to you. This is a DM thing for sure.
I mean, there is no will save here. It's a saving throw none. How about Rosin? You roll a will save for both.
Great. Oh, fuck. Okay.
So one for each.
God.
To, like,
Well-
force them into the mold.
Okay.
If
To
that
be
makes
specific
sense.
with... Yeah, but to be specific with what's being planned here, Rosin was going to move himself further into the room, move everyone else outside as far as he can. I don't think he can get Layla and Hissy because he only has a limit of 7. And then he would use his extra action to cast it a second time to move himself, Layla, and Hissy outside as well.
Yeah, that should be fine then.
Okay, so 2 will saves.
Two casts to grab everyone, and then you can just do 2 will saves. As a matter of fact, you'll have the chance to roll both of these saves twice, because if they don't go with the first group, you'll still have enough space to move them with the second group, if that makes sense.
If they don't work with the first group, because I can start a performance as a free action, may I start a performance to boost my will save after the first cast? Because I didn't get declared already.
Yeah, that'd be fine. But
Okay.
go ahead and roll the first sets first, just to
Yes.
see if it works. Oh, they both work.
Okay. Well, then that plan, get everyone the fuck outside with 2 casts.
To which you teleport everyone as far into the woods that you can see. To which I'll say that's probably like 100, 150 feet, which I know is a large range, but just as far as possible.
240 is my max.
I know, but it's a matter of sight, and you're in a rainforest.
Okay, fair. I don't have to be able to see. The spell says that.
I know, but I imposed that so that people can't just fucking use Dimension Door into someone's bedroom.
Funny.
To which, with both teleports, you all immediately begin to sprint. While this is going on, considering how far you teleported, Locke, you are jump scared as your entire team just teleports next to you as you're running back towards the castle.
Well, can someone
I was
make
gonna ask
me
about
up?
that. Would
Did we load up the unconscious people on top of Hissy?
Well, that would be
As I was
what you
ro-
were doing now, but continue, Locke.
as I was running, would I have seen Layla? Would Layla have passed me? On
No,
her
they
way
both
to
would
the
have been
house?
invisible going in the other direction, so you might have heard them, but you most
Right,
likely
so I
would
wouldn't
have...
have known Layla was there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's only because had I known Layla was there, Locke would have turned around because he wouldn't have walked away from her. Even knowing that she can take care of herself,
hmm
he wouldn't have left with her being there.
Yeah, but she would have made a point
yeah,
to go
yeah,
past
so
you
I
as quietly as possible, and even if you
Yeah.
did, you most likely would have assumed it an animal and continued onwards anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So-
now they all just suddenly appear in front of you. Your mom's on fire. Duras is unconscious. I did forget to mention, because I forgot to write it down, but Hissy is now profusely bleeding from getting shot by the fuck you.
Then the first thing I would do upon seeing Layla on fire is take off my coat and start trying to, like, put the fire out.
She would grab the jacket out of your hands and immediately direct you towards Duras. Just saying the word Arcana Toxin before she wraps it around herself to
Oh.
try and stave off the flames.
Then absolutely.
That would be a craft
I'm gonna
alchemy.
use poison law. Yeah. Craft alchemy.
Well, first knowledge nature, then craft alchemy.
there. Okay. Nature is 15. And a free inspiration.
Nice.
That's enough. 20 on the nature.
That gives you a +8 bonus on the craft check.
Okay. I don't get that on that, so that is.
And it's impossible to nat 1. So even if you won, it just gets treated as if you rolled 1, not nat 1. Alright, it does take you a little while, to which I presume at this point people would be loading things up onto Hissy. Lysandra, I presume you just start shoving down channel energy.
Yeah, I am just popping my little heels off until
Alright,
everyone is okay.
We'll say that you use 3. You don't have to
Yeah.
roll for the healing, but we'll
Okay.
say that you use 3 just to ensure that everyone is fully healed. And then
Okay.
all of you sprint off towards Kelnor. Along the way, Didas, you are awoken from this, and along the way, Reich breaks free of the brain control, to which it's quite clear is due to the fact that he is out of range rather than because he's immune to it or broke out of it willingly.
Goddamn.
Is Catan currently cognizant?
Yes, Catan would be cognizant.
Okay.
Can I suggest that we have Catan and Reich both have their legs tied and ride Hissy back, just in case she invokes the same thing that made them walk there in the first place?
Sure, why not? Because it's funny. Catan, Reich, you have your ankles bound and thrown over Hissy like you are a dead deer, and Hissy is carrying you back home.
Katan's like, wait, no, you should all fucking leave! You don't know what they're capable of!
We are leaving.
Faster! Don't tie me up, just go! Just go! Why are you tying me up?
Because I know what you're capable of. If you get mind controlled again.
The hell?
To which, Rosin, do you have another cast of your Bard's Escape?
I do not. I only have 3.
Okay, so you used up them all.
I did.
All right.
Has
What does Leiku have?
She could have haste to make this faster for everybody, and she can also kind of tree stride, right? Because now they're outside in the foresty area. She could tree stride over back to the palace and warn everybody and get healers ready.
Yeah. So you're gonna cast haste and then do all that. All right.
Yeah.
So you all do make your way through the forest and back to the castle. Leiku raises hell, gets pretty much all hands on deck to try and help make sure that everyone is fine, which obviously draws the attention of Kane. So he asks what's going on.
Oh, if Leiku is going back that way, I'll give her the fur to deliver to Kate.
Oh, okay.
You can
all
deliver
right.
yourself, it's fine.
I was just thinking that she's there before the rest of us because she tree strided.
If it's
She
an
would be
in-character thing that
busy.
you would do, I would...
It's just that she would be busy because, like she said, she's
Sure.
gathering as many people. So you can just deliver it, it's fine.
Yeah, no problem.
So who's Kane asking?
Kane would be asking Leiku what was going on
Because
and what
Lake is
happened.
the only one that's there right now.
Mhm.
She will essentially go, right, well, Catan and Reich got mind controlled by their mother. They were led to their family house. We managed to get back there, get out of there, like, barely alive. We need healers on deck. There's a lot to talk about, but we can't talk right now. Just need to get this done.
And he's quiet for quite some time. And he goes, well, we only have a couple. I'll send them out in just a moment. You said Catan's family attacked?
Yes.
To which he'll sigh and pinch the bridge of his nose and go, great. We're leaving in 6 hours. I can't handle that right now.
Okay. All right.
All right. I presume all of your friends that you have gathered are going with you, correct? That includes the rabbit, the bat, and everyone else that you left here at the castle.
That would be correct.
He then thinks for a little bit longer. I'm gonna ask the Visk family to stay here.
All right. I don't think that should be a problem.
If only Felicity and Basil were here, they'd be able to help. But Felicity is currently out training recruits. I've already sent a message out to her. She's going to be meeting us in Tarantus, but it would be about a week or two after we arrive. So that's not helpful. And Basil is on vacation. Somewhere in Telduria. Great.
I mean, this is going to be quite a handful. Why don't we have Leighton help?
Leighton's going with you.
I have the rest of my party. I should be fine.
Leighton is going with you.
Okay.
You are the Queen of Kelnor. You need a personal bodyguard. Catan is being trained to do that for you, but he's not at the proper level. Leighton is, so he's going with you until Catan is trained.
All right. I won't fight you on that.
It will be at this point that the rest of the group would show up and all of that. And he would talk to everyone to try and ascertain what information, specifically so that he can tell Melinda. This is because, in case you all forgot, Melinda is psionic. And in case you forgot the attachment of psionics, psionic is effectively a different magic type that is tied directly to the old gods themselves. So, with Melinda being told she at least can do her best to more or less pay attention to any more warning signs in that regard, to at least try and safeguard. He's also going to let his military know so that they can be on more or less high alert, and all he can really do is just hope for the best. Locke, you will deliver the hares to Kate, to which... This is actually a good question. Should Kate stay here and work on that particular antidote for Catan and Reich, or should she go with you all?
I say that she should go with, if only because when she's done, she's gonna have to take some time to travel to wherever Catan and Reich is for them to take the potion. That's my vote.
So your vote is for her to go with, so that when it's done, she could administer it immediately.
Yes, and we don't have to risk, like, I don't know, like some family member figuring out what's going on to then try and intercept, you know?
I guess that's fair. We'll go top down then. Dudas, what would your vote be?
Basically the same, with the same reasoning.
Okay. Locke?
Locke's reasoning for why Kate should go with us is that, one, it's going to be easier for her to actually administer it. There's more chance for added samples if they're needed, and also in downtime during travel, I can assist her in the actual creation of it.
Mm-hmm. And then, Lysandra, what would your vote be?
She should go with us, if only for safety, too.
Right. So that'd be majority then, so it looks like she'll be going with the group. However, as Kane said, there is... The boat's going to be leaving in about 6 hours. So, with Kane informed, all he can really do is just get his few best advisors that he even has at the time being to deal with the Dayrune family, because unfortunately he has much bigger issues to deal with, because just like the rest of you, he needs to set sail for Telduria in order to deal with the trade negotiations that are to follow. But before we go, is there any last minute things that anyone here would like to do?
I think Catan would at least write down the skill set of his family members to warn the people that would be trying to deal with the Dayrune family.
Okay. That could be helpful, yeah. Anything else from anyone else?
Sammy is going to let slip that one of them uses rather potent arcana toxins.
Catan would know that.
Yeah, Catan and Reich would know that. They wouldn't have been able to tell you that beforehand, obviously.
Yeah, Catan just unfortunately grew up with these people and unfortunately knows everything about these people. But fortunately, but also unfortunately.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Anything else from anyone else?
Is there a... Go ahead.
Sammy's going to wrangle up Gosa.
Outside of the obvious, Lysandra,
Is there a library around here?
what would you be trying to go there for?
Lysandra just wants to pull a few books on, like where, you know, you said that she had read about the not the ambrosia, the liquid thing that came out. She just wants to pull a few books like that so that people, you know, if they need to know something, if something from them happens, they have the exact books where it would be in.
Okay, I presume you would be handing that off to Kate because she's the one
Yes.
working on it. All right.
Yes.
And then I think I heard Daras about to speak. Was there something else that you wanted?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Actually,
go on.
Sammy would head to pick up some poisons on the way out.
You mean for shopping purposes?
Yeah, just grabbing 3 things though. Like,
Then don't worry about that, because shopping is effectively what you would be doing in Tarantus, since you'll have about a week there. So, Rosin?
Also a shopping thing with someone specifically here. He wants to grab some saffron before he goes.
Okay. How much?
How much do you want to charge for it? How much are they selling?
How much do you want? I'll tell you the price.
A single tin. it would
Just
be
a
like
single-
a couple ounces.
Okay.
of little strands
Because
of it whole.
because you go back and forth between, oh yeah, I'll just take a small satchel, and can I have an entire crate, please?
This is saffron. It's expensive.
If you are getting a couple of ounces, like a good sized bottle of it, it'll be 200 gold.
Okay. And then after that, I suppose you just go help Guava prepare for the voyage.
All right. So, with everyone finally gathered together for some time, and after a rather short month of sailing, it is close to being time for everyone to part ways again. The question will become, which I'll have everyone discuss, is how are you going to separate? The reason being is that on the way there, Guava would have asked those that, she's been traveling with up to this point, basically all of Roubaix, to help her resolve her issues revolving around Dragon. She obviously has asked this multiple times, but she's effectively reiterating it that she really feels that it needs to be done now. Something in the back of her mind has been clawing way too much. She needs to get it resolved now. However, she also would have gone over to Layla and tried to hire her directly to find the rest of her missing instruments. To which, Locke, you would have been privy to this particular conversation, where the both of them would have gone back and forth with Layla denying the claim on multiple accounts, with one of the reasons as to why she's denying it is because Guava was, at one point in time, a very brief member of the Thieves Guild, joining and getting thrown out in less than 24 hours because she killed another member in the Thieves Guild because that member touched her instrument. You also listen to her try and explain why she wasn't really herself at that time, how the crown keeps her centered, and without it, she is this psychotic, lunatic, volatile pyromaniac. Layla doesn't particularly believe it, but when Guava tries her last-ditch effort to explain that she has an entire meteorite of sky metal in Ardwall in her house's basement, Layla immediately goes, okay. Because an entire meteorite of sky metal, for those of you who weren't here when I said it the first time, is so expensive that it has enough to single-handedly tank the GDP of an entire nation and send it into an inflationary spiral if not handled properly. To which she agrees. Does Locke have any thoughts on that?
So is it like well known just how expensive the sky metal is?
Yes. A sliver of sky metal that's like...
It wouldn't come as a shock to him that the promise of a large amount of it would change Layla's mind, even though he knows just how stubborn she is when she's made up her mind.
Like, for example, a 3 centimeter sheet, not a square, just a sheet, a 3x3 sheet of sky metal is worth like 10,000 gold. So an entire meteorite of it is astronomically expensive.
He probably wouldn't say much while Guava is still there.
Mm-hmm.
But assuming we're also given the description of the instruments at that time, and he would probably recognize that one of them is one that has already passed through our hands in recent history, he would probably speak to Layla separately and say, okay, so we have a rough idea who has one of those, but is it really good form to effectively set us on the person we stole it for in the first place?
She'll look at you and go, you do realize how common that is, right?
I mean, I haven't done any missions like that so far. I'm just confirming that this is what we do.
We're thieves. We steal things.
Then I have no more questions.
Good.
Because if there is one thing he abides by, it is that guild law is law, and Layla's law is above guild law.
Basically. Okay, I forgot to add the wallpaper for Tarantus, so I'm a little sad. Transform, stretch to screen. There we go. Hooray. So, oh, and I forgot to do NPC stuff. God damn it. Womp. Alright, let me
guild law is state law.
Guild law is state law.
Layla's law is federal.
I was gonna say Layla's law is mother's law, which is above federal.
Very true.
Alright, so there's the boy, to which I'll put him in here as well, because He has returned.
Oh god, not this fuck ass.
Why do you guys? I don't think the director's done anything bad yet in this campaign.
No.
When all of you land, during the small hour or so window that it takes for you all to disembark and collect your belongings, it seems that some kind of Teldurian spy caught wind of your arrival and informed Director Shepard himself. As such, as soon as all of your belongings are separated and packed, you have them all with you, you hear his familiar voice call out to all of you saying, "It's good to see you again." Though he doesn't sound particularly excited when he says this. "It's been a long time. I thought you skipped out on our deal. I had to hand off your payment to our mutual friend several months ago." To which I hope she's safeguarded such a thing quite well. But before any of you can answer, he pauses once he's a few feet away and says, "Oh, I didn't realize you would be sailing with notorious criminals." His eyes sweep along most of your companions. At first, his eyes linger on Layla for a few moments, and by extension, all of Group B. Though his gaze is met with Layla's gaze, and her stare is far more intimidating, almost daring him to say anything whatsoever, just so that she can retaliate as if she were the will of Nahir herself.
Oof.
His eyes then shift to Kane, and he goes, so now all of you take heed from the most notorious pirate in Teldurian history. I would have sworn you all had a deep vendetta against a person like him." To which Kane responds with, "I have very little idea as to what you're referring to. My name is King Kelnor, current King of Kelnor. I'm here on a diplomatic mission." To which Shepard responds with, "Is that the game you wish to play?" Kane's eyes then narrow as he straightens himself out, doing much like Layla did to intimidate Director Shepard, and he says, "If you're comparing me to a pirate, I would consider that a great offense, especially as I am here on a diplomatic mission. You wouldn't threaten your standing within the council, would you? Having charged the king of another nation who has proclaimed a desire to undo the damage that the previous king has done?" As he says this, he takes several slow steps towards Shepard, each one to deliberately emphasize each of his points. Shepard's expression breaks for a moment in confusion, as that confusion starts to wash over his face, and all he can say is, "What?" before Kane continues, all the while still slowly walking toward Shepard to emphasize his words. "My apologies for not sending a messenger beforehand of my arrival, as I'm sure you would have gone to great lengths to accommodate my desires. However, I've been quite busy over the last month securing my throne back in my homeland, so allow me to be a bit more formal. I am Kane Thackeray Kelnor XIII, ruler of the Kelnorian province, recently crowned in place of my late father. I'm here to reopen previous diplomatic agreements between our nations." He's now standing just mere inches away from Shepard. "If you take issue with this declaration, I would be more than happy to address myself to the other council members instead." Shepard quickly takes a step back, simultaneously taking a deep breath in, and mutters the word, "Fine. If that's how you wish to protect yourself, fine. But that cannot be said about your Lagomore friend over there," to which he points to Guava, who reacts by simply hanging her head. "She is the most wanted criminal in all of Telduria." To which Kane raises a hand and cuts Shepard off, saying, "Are the old Teldurian laws still in place?" Shepard mildly deflates and he says, "What laws?" "The ones that dictate political amnesty between your nation, the Auckland Society, and mine due to the vast differences in our laws." Shepard's eyes narrow. "Where are you going with this?" Kane then motions to Guava. "Guava Fakian renounced her citizenship to Telduria several years in the past. As of last month, she has gained citizenship status in the land of Kelnor. Moreover, she is one of my many political advisors. As he's doing this, Shepard is retaliating, muttering the word no over and over again in between each pause that Kane does with his sentences. Having immediately caught on to Kane's political maneuvering, and when he finishes his sentence, he shouts and is visibly angry. He shouts the word no's. He shouts the word no. Lies. What kind of advisor could a criminal of her caliber ever offer a ruler? To which Kane's response is very calm and very calculated. Minstrel, a king's court should always be filled with music. To which this is enough to throw Shepard into an actual temper tantrum. Of course, he does his best to save face while he does so he turns his back to everyone to try and control this insurmountable level of anger. But you can all watch as he does everything in his power to keep his body still, tensing up all of his muscles, as he mutters to himself, taking long, slow, deep breaths, and after a few long moments of silence, he turns back around and he goes, Fine, let you away. But know that me and my men will be watching every single one of you as closely as possible. To which Kane just gives a simple nod and he says, You are free to do so, and then motions towards the center of the city. Now hurry along. I'm a very busy man, and you aren't going to waste my time. If you cooperate, you could have the biggest political achievement on your hands within a few simple weeks. Shepard can only huff out of his nose, but agrees to Kane's demands before the both of them walk off towards the city center. You're free
Bye,
to roleplay
baby.
now.
I was already watching us all very closely.
Bye. Like is waving.
Kane will wave back over his shoulder as she, shouts goodbye and everything else. Though Group A now has, I guess, like a minor mission, if you caught on to what I was saying before.
In that whole spiel, I think I missed it. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Go ahead. Everyone's free to roleplay now. For the rest of the session, it's all roleplay.
Okay.
Okay.
We should have asked him where Nasa went. If she finished her little her mission.
Well, you can do knowledge local rolls when you get to it. She is a very obvious person to find, but I assume you said this out loud, right?
Oh yeah, I would have been talking to the group.
Leiku, your response.
Like who beelines over to Roz and bring me to Nasa.
I'll do my best. Or this is a friendly meeting, I hope, yeah?
Like who puts her hands on her hips and she goes, She's my Nana.
Okay. Then yeah, if we could find her, but last I heard she was heading north. Though that must have been like 7 or 8 months ago, yeah, something like that.
It has been quite a while since we've been on Teldurian soil.
How's Guava doing?
Guava's a little shaken up, but you would have noticed her relax and give Kane this look of deep thanks as Kane basically politically Batista bombed Shepard into compliance.
Goddamn, Kane
What was
pulling
it,
out
diplomatic immunity?
Yeah.
Kane pulling out the sanctuary card.
And is Group B gonna respond to anything that Layla did whatsoever?
I think Leiku's a little too distracted by the fact that she wants to see her Nana Day.
I guess that's fair. Would anyone else ask Layla why she did what she did?
Honestly, no. Locke is indulging his inner child and is giddily telling Hissy how amazing it is that they are now notorious.
What about Didas?
I mean, are you talking about like the cabin and everything? Because I think I know why she followed us and everything.
Could you repeat that? You were a little soft.
Oh yeah, sorry. We're talking about the cabin and everything and why she helped us and blew off the side of the wall.
No, I was talking about what happened during this whole exchange between Shepard and the group. Were you not paying attention to that?
There was something mentioned about our mutual friends being paid. Were we supposed to get paid? Was that promised to us? I forget.
Oh, no, we were supposed to get paid. We, for, well, rescuing you guys.
I guess
So,
I misunderstood what he said. I thought he was talking to us, saying that we were on a mission for him.
Yeah,
because we
she
were on a
was
mission for him.
He was talking to Group A, to which
Yeah.
Layla will then speak up to quell the confusion, because Daras thinks that he was talking to Group B, and as Layla gets down from her little perch and starts to make her way towards, or at least start her little walk towards the Thieves Guild, she'll say, Shepard was the one that hired us to find you.
I gathered
I mean,
that.
yeah, I put that
My
together.
question
We gotta-
was he intending to pay us? I didn't know that was part of our deal.
Wait, we were supposed to get paid?
That's what I'm saying. Was I the only one who heard him say that he intended to pay us for a mission? I thought our mission was in exchange for, not being hanged for burning down a church.
Yeah, but he said he gave it to someone else and
Yeah, I
hoped that
know.
it got to us.
Well, he said he hoped if they can keep it. I just didn't know we were supposed to get paid.
I don't believe
Did
we
we get
were.
paid?
No, we did
If
not get
I'm-
paid by
If I'm
Shep-
remembering
Who had our
correct,
money?
No,
Why
hold
are
on.
you
It's
so
Thieves Guild.
confused? He straight up said that your payment was given to Nasa. Just stop being confused.
Oh, Nasa!
No!
I thought you
I'm
said
not the one who was
Layla or
confused,
mutual friend.
clearly.
Yeah, that was me being confused. That was me misunderstanding.
yeah, to my knowledge, payment
Yes,
was
mutual
never...
friend is Nasa.
Yes,
Because
Okay.
he was
I
talking
didn't.
exclusively to Group A.
I didn't know that's who he was referring to.
Okay.
That was my confusion. That's my bad. I'm sorry.
I blame
Well,
Nomad.
then it really does.
Always blame Nomad.
It's always Nomad's fault. Well, NASA has whatever our supposed payment is supposed to be.
See if she's doing well too. We brought her here so she could finish her pilgrimage. I wonder if she made it.
Now, I don't know about any of you. We haven't set foot on Teldurian soil in almost a year. I'd like a bite to eat. I'm feeling nostalgic. Then we should find Nasa.
I mean, what if
Because I'm
she's in a
curious
tavern?
what this payment is.
We're talking about Nasa. May I accompany you? I'd be interested in meeting her.
Layla will stop in her tracks and she'll look back towards Group B and look over towards Group A and she'll go, you know what, just go with them. You know where the Thieves Guild is. I'll see whoever I see at the end of the day. And she'll just walk away.
Is she
See
gonna
you.
be okay? She don't seem too happy.
Go ahead and roll for perception, Lysandra.
Oh, yay.
Of course she doesn't seem too happy. She's pregnant.
Ah!
Yeah.
Let's go, Layla.
Yeah, she's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. None of my business, and Lysandra just turns away.
So who's the father?
You didn't get your perception roll. Get out of here.
No, but I'm asking the person.
She didn't
I'm not
verbally
saying-
say that. She just said, oh, okay. You wouldn't even know. Stinky little monkey.
Hey, excuse you. She bathes
That was charged.
Oh my god.
quite regularly.
Stinky. Hold on, I
How
have
dare
hold on.
you?
Stinky.
What the frick?
Sir Turd of Bottom, have a wonderful day and may your farts be dry. Thank you very much.
What?
In the chat.
In the chat
I
for
think
the
that's
stream.
Yeah, if it's coming from him, you know it's genuine.
Exactly, you know it's genuine. Well, in order to find Nasa, the best thing to do is to roll knowledge local to see if anyone's seen her. So we'll have
Okay.
everyone go ahead and roll, including
will.
Hissy, if he has it.
Absolutely using my inspiration on this because I don't have to expend points anymore. Wow.
I am
You should
taking my
always be.
20.
You should always be using inspiration, even if it costs points.
I forgot earlier, okay?
Actually, is
Losing out on
I don't think it is
EXP
now.
there.
Isn't knowledge local?
Yes, knowledge local.
A Leiku can't roll that.
Womp womp. What about Hissy?
Same.
Can Hissy sniff?
No.
Is he sniff?
Fuck.
So
Then
Duras
I
doesn't
guess
have.
Not.
Can you cast what?
Huh?
Can you cast what?
I said then I guess not.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you were going to cast a spell. And Duras can't roll, so that just leaves Locke and Lysandra, maybe? Can Lysandra roll?
No. What do you
Okay.
take me for? Someone with knowledge skills?
Yeah. Sorry for
No, I
having
don't have
high
that one.
expectations of you.
Is
Damn it.
Amy the only person trained in all knowledge?
Who?
No, I'm a bard.
No, me too. I think it's just the three of us have all knowledge.
Yeah, bards and
Fucking
rogues get all
me,
knowledge.
you literally share class.
Yeah, I only get some of them.
Haha. Skill issue. Point.
Yeah, it is literal skill
Literally
issue.
skill issue, yeah.
Stop stealing my
Wow.
freaking jokes!
You said it first, fine.
It's so fine!
Alright, well,
Looks like Sammy did the best though.
yes. Sammy did do the best, to which finding Nasa isn't particularly hard. She is iconic, I guess, to say the least, thanks to her mask and everything else. To which you do find her at a tavern. It's pretty deep into the city, but nothing too big, to be honest. To which you find her as per usual, because every tavern that she ever sits in, she sits in the back, far corner, away from all the lights and all the noise. To which, as you approach, you see her head rise up from the table, and she goes, "Oh, you brought quite a lot of people with you this time."
We got a bigger crew. How have you been, Nasa? It's been a very long time.
Okay, I guess. I expected you all back some time ago so that you could have helped me with a pilgrimage up north, so I've been more or less just sitting here and waiting. I had to sell the stuff that Shepard handed over for payment of your job well done, because he did get word that it was complete. He wanted to hand it to you in person, but obviously other things happened. I don't think any of you would have liked them all that much. They were rather low-end magical trinkets that could either be copied with spells that you already had at that time, or spells that I assume that you would all know now, because you all certainly do look much, much stronger than before. To which she reaches into her belongings and she starts setting out small bags of gold, to which everyone in Group A gets 5,000 gold.
Awesome. Nasa, I got a gift for you.
Oh,
I felt bad about being gone for so long, and Rosin will present a small bottle of saffron.
you set the bottle on the table, to which Leiku, you can go ahead and roll a perception check here. No, it's very
You to her, but whatever.
it's important for Leiku. It has nothing to do with
Okay.
the saffron.
Okay.
Leiku, you watch as Nasa's hand starts to tap the table, going closer to where the saffron is, tentatively, slowly, and cautiously, to which you develop this deep churning in your stomach, as if something is horribly wrong. And then when she touches the bottle, which is just a clear glass container, and she pulls it back to herself, she says, "Oh, what is it?"
Take a smell. Saffron.
To which you watch again as her hands start to explore it, finding the cap and pulling it off.
Leiku's big frown.
To which she brings to the mask, to which you can go ahead and roll for perception again, as she lifts it up and begins to smell it. Oh.
Oh.
I see.
Oh, shit.
I don't need to describe it, but she sees everything. Also, that brought everyone to 40,000. So.
Yo!
Yeah. We're gonna need it, boys.
Oh, this next one was a huge one, too.
So, Leiku sees everything underneath that mask.
Leiku feels absolutely horrible. Not like this is like, oh, it's so horrifying. I mean, like, it kind of is, but she feels awful that she joined the war so late. That if anything could have been done, she could have done it if she only knew where Nasa was. And I suppose at this point, Leiku... How... You said that this is a table in the far back. Is it like a booth? Is it...
Let's just say it's a round table with several chairs around it.
Okay. Leiku will move so that she sits in the chair next to Nasa, and she holds one of Nasa's free hands and goes, "Nane?"
To which, thankfully, at this point in time, Nasa was in the process of putting the bottle back together, and as she starts to hover it over the table and her hand is taken and she hears Leiku's voice, she drops it. It doesn't shatter, but it does clink against the table and fall off to the side, opening, and some of the saffron starts to spill out, and her hands start to immediately fidget and move over to Leiku to tap at her arms and eventually up to her face, and she goes, Leiku?
Leiku will exhale and whisper, just, "Yes, it's me."
To which Nasa gets excited. Despite the fact that she wears this mask, everyone here can just somehow feel that she's smiling with all of her heart as she gets up from her chair and pulls Leiku into as big a hug as possible with all four of her arms. One arm rubbing her back, another one brushing her hair, the other two lightly massaging her shoulders, and she goes on this, the best way to describe it is this elderly rant about not seeing a grandchild for so long, so it's just compliment after compliment after compliment of, "Oh, you've grown up, you look so big now, you're so mature, I missed you," asking just question after question after question, not really expecting an answer, just unleashing as much excitement as possible.
Where's my grandbabies?
That is one of the questions, actually. Do you have any children yet?
No, not yet.
When that is answered, she pauses, to which Leiku, you think that it's going to be in relation to that, but instead she asks, "Why are you sad?"
What happened to you?
There is a long moment of silence, to which she then explains what happened at the end of the war and the ambush that attacked her and her legion, to which almost everyone involved was slaughtered, and she barely escaped with her life. Though the damage was quite immense. Her face was scarred and disfigured, so much so to the point that she wears this mask now not out of religious symbolism, but to protect other people from seeing it. She also talks about how it cost her sight and everything else. Though she does top it off with a little bit of good news, to which she does say that after direct contact with Ione did give her a way to see, and then she explains how her life sense works.
Leiku, upon listening and hearing all of this for the first time, is silent most of the way. I suppose if the party were to focus on her, they would be able to tell that she's fighting back lots of emotions. A lot of it. And after being explained how true sight works, she'll just go, like, I guess that's good. At least you have some way to see. I wish I could have done something.
Nisa will shake her head and reassure her that there was nothing that she could have done.
Leiku will sigh and then go, okay, well, Nana S is always around you, so do you know where she is? Is she okay?
To which she pauses for a moment, and to which Leiku immediately realizes that something is wrong again. And she goes, well, I don't know where she is. We both got ambushed, and obviously that separated us. But I haven't seen her since then. To which, after another short pause, she goes, but they didn't find her body, so I'm sure she's fine.
Leiku will exhale upon hearing that, and she goes, okay, well, what kept me going was the fact that they couldn't find your body, so I'm more inclined to also believe that Nana S is out there somewhere.
To which Nasa will laugh at this and go, yeah, me and my old bag of bones. I'm surprised I made it through.
I'm glad that you did, and she'll give Nasa a hug.
During all of this, how would Didas feel? Because this is the person, if I recall correctly, who saved him at the start of the war.
Yeah, exactly.
Being now broken and disfigured and blind.
Yeah, I guess she's also feeling kind of sad for everything that she had to sacrifice and everything that was done to her. Kind of doesn't know what to say, but he also wants Leiku and her to have the time and doesn't want to jump in or anything, ruin the moment.
After Leiku and Nasa have their moment and separate, Nasa will stand up and obviously see the rest of the group here and effectively ask to be introduced. I'm sure Catan would go first and introduce Reich, to which there would have been way more roleplay here because she would show this genuine, almost motherly excitement towards Catan about having found one of his siblings, to which she will then talk to both of them quietly so that no one else hears, because she obviously doesn't know that the whole group knows, but say, in relation to the mark and whatnot, to which she will emphasize the fact that the mark doesn't make either of you who you are. It's the actions that you take. And then she'll reiterate her her pride for Catan and at least coming to terms with someone in his family before asking if that's closure enough for him, to which Catan will probably go, I'm going to talk to you about that later. Right? Did you hear me, baby?
Sorry, I was emotionally recovering from Leiku and Nesa. I'm right here.
Did you hear anything that I just said, dude?
I did. I heard the part where...
Thank you very much, GM Shonda, for the raid. It's greatly appreciated.
Hello! I heard the part where, Nesa said that it's not the mark that makes the person.
So you didn't hear anything else after that. Good job.
No, I'm sorry. I tried to focus, and then my brain dissociated thinking about Leiku and Nesa. I'm sorry.
Of course, of course. She would have asked, she would have reiterated her pride towards Catan to at least reconcile with part of his family, and would have asked if that would have been good enough closure, to which I then said, I'm pretty sure Catan would go, I'll talk to you about that later.
Yes, he would.
Okay. Like I said,
at length later, because, you know, they're essentially whispering and surrounded by a whole crowd of other people.
Yeah. And obviously, like I said, because Reich's not here today, there would have been more roleplay in relation between the three of you.
Rise.
So, that's unfortunate. Then she'll turn her direction to Locke and ask for an introduction.
Hello, I'm Locke.
And she'll ask, God damn it, and she'll ask, you know, what your relation is to the group, because she obviously hasn't seen you before.
I'm a co-worker of Leiku's.
Oh, and what kind of work do you do?
Leiku opens her
Guild
mouth and
work.
she closes it and she goes like, oh, shoot.
We work for the guild.
To which you can, again, you feel this smile down upon you, and she goes, I'll let you in on a little secret with my life sense, since I'm sure you heard me. I can see when someone's lying. Can you please just tell me the truth?
I'm telling the truth. We work for the guild.
She'll hear the whining, and she'll turn towards Leiku. Dearest, answer me.
No.
3.
No.
2.
You can't do this to me. I'm an adult.
1.
You skilled.
To which the both of you will hear a small giggle from Mesa and turn back to Locke. To which she'll kneel down to his height, which really isn't much, because I think she's like 5'2". And with 2 hands, she'll brush off his shoulders, and another hand will fix the center fold of his shirt, and the other one will ruffle his hair and go, well, aren't you a dapper little thief? Have you been taking good care of my niece?
Absolutely.
Leiku is essentially just softly going on a ramble, going, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I didn't want to at first, I really didn't mean to, but then I tried to go to a mercenary guild, and the mercenary guild wouldn't take me because I'm too sexy.
And Nesa's just ignoring all of this.
Yeah, she just keeps talking.
And as that's going on, she'll just ask Locke, when the two of you go back on a job again, can you make sure that you do 2 things for me, please?
And what would those 2 things be?
Can you make sure that my niece is happy, whatever that may be? And 2, if you break the law, make sure that I'm not there to witness it. Otherwise, I will erase you from this earth.
I can do those things. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Go away.
Go away.
No, missile, go away.
Oh.
I'm sure that it cut off and you didn't actually hear me say missile. It's because I turned my head to look at him.
Oh, is he bothering you because you're a little crybaby?
He's standing on his hind legs staring at. He's not leaning on anything. He's just standing and staring at me, and I'm telling him to go away.
Well, it's because you're a crybaby right now, and he's trying to
You're
make you feel
scaring
better.
me. I hate it when he stands on his legs. He just looks like a person in there. He doesn't look real. I want him to stop. You have to stop doing that.
And then she'll turn to Didas and ask for introductions.
Oh, my name's Ulas Calvin. You probably don't remember, but I'm one of the probably many people you saved back in the war, so probably couldn't thank you properly back then because I was...
As
Well-
you were rambling, she starts to go into her belongings, to which she pulls out this toy. It seems to be of a wooden bear, but the arms and legs are attached by a small spring, so like when you flick them, they'll just bounce around and go back in place.
Yeah.
It's a little worn down and everything else. And she holds it out to you. And she says, you know, I was wondering when I can give this back.
Oh, wow, thank you. I mean, I wanted to thank you for saving me, and now it... Oh, wow. Thank you. I'm gonna carefully take it. It is... Wow, I didn't think anything survived from back then.
Well, you gave it to one of the soldiers there. Apparently it was for both me and my sister, but I was the one that managed to hold on to it. But now that the war's over, it goes back to you. To which, again, despite the mask, you feel this smile from beneath it. And she goes, you really think I wouldn't forget a screaming little red tiefling almost throwing rocks at us to get our attention as we're marching away?
I mean, you probably saved hundreds of people, so... But thank you for everything. I wouldn't be standing here without you.
And I'm sure everyone else here wouldn't be standing here without you. So thank you. And now Didas goes into the corner and cries, I guess.
Yeah, he's too starstruck and... Yeah, no. He short circuits visibly.
God damn it, this is my corner.
Make a little
Choose your
room.
own.
God damn it.
Alright, I'm pretty sure the rest of the interactions would be more or less just catching up and things of that nature. So, the last thing that we will do for today's session is discussing who's going where. Because as previously stated, as previously iterated, Guava is effectively the reason why the group is splitting up. She is asking people, effectively she would have asked it to everyone within earshot, but she's asking people to come and help her to deal with the thing over in Dragonport. But she also asked Layla, and effectively I guess Group B as a whole, to help find the rest of her instruments. How the group splits up from here is entirely up to you. If you want me to just go down the list and ask, that's fine, but you can also go back and forth and discuss. I do know that this also becomes a little difficult to do because of Reich, to which Catan,
We'll
you're
just have to wait.
probably just gonna have to DM him and straight up have that conversation about
Yeah.
what they're gonna do. But I'm gonna come to you last since you have two characters. To which I'll go to Didas. which way are you currently leaning?
Another question. I think, like a couple of weeks ago, you said that Layla was going with one of the groups.
Yeah, Group B.
Yeah, then I would probably just go with that group.
And what would be your reasoning there?
Mostly to stay somewhat close to Layla.
Okay. Then we'll go to Locke. What are you leaning towards right now?
Locke would be staying with Group B because he is a thief and that is all he knows.
I guess that's
So
fair.
he has no reason to go anywhere else.
Alrighty. Lysandra.
Lysandra's going with Guava.
So you're going to be going to Group A. What would be your reasoning there?
She's really invested in Guava,
I
even
see.
though Guava doesn't like her right now.
I see.
Look, she feels really important about this. You know what I'm saying?
Rosin.
Obviously, Rosin's going with Group B away from Guava, even though he promised Guava to help already. It's your no
Really?
answer.
You're going to go with Group B?
You know what I'm saying, jackass. You can read my sarcasm.
Yeah, but I like answering sarcasm with sarcasm. So you're going to go over to Group A, and your reasoning
Yes.
again is because of investment in Guava.
Yeah, he already did promise to help her, so he absolutely would be going.
All right, and then Sammy, what about you?
Here's where I'm conflicted. She still wants to help Guava. She really does. But she
But-
can't leave Leighton's side.
Okay, so your choice is in either Group A or Group B. It's to follow Leighton.
Yeah.
And because Leighton is following Leiku around, you're going wherever Leiku's going.
Because as much as I love Group B and as much as I love Guava, she's gotta stay with her husband.
Fair, understandable. So like I said, since you're attached to Leighton, and Leighton is by royal decree currently attached to Leiku, you're going wherever Leiku goes. Which means we go back to Katana and Leiku. You're the linchpin here, at least in relation to two other characters, I would assume. But like I said, we don't really know Reich's choice, so I'll have to rely on you as a player to talk to another player to see
Yes.
what would make the most sense. But
I'll have to wait, but yeah.
I'll ask, which way is Catan leaning?
Catan is leaning to go assist Guava.
To assist
go with
Guava.
Group A, essentially.
Okay, and what would be the reasoning there?
He has investment, not just in Guava and just seeing if she's okay, because he's a kind lad and he's spoken to Guava like twice and he's kind of concerned over her.
Mhm.
But a little bit more importantly, when he talked to Guava about the hole in her back, how she came to have it, from his understanding, Guava did not have that hole until after an incident at the orphanage. Guava doesn't know what the incident was, she just knows that after she left the orphanage, she had it.
Mhm.
So he is inclined to believe that there's something old god related to the orphanage, and if he could just see where it was, see if like this alleged golden man has like any monikers that he can look for, any clues, because if he happens to still be alive or there's some kind of copycat, he could go investigate it, because he is wanting to purge everything old god related at this point.
Mhm. And then, Leiku.
Leiku actually has an investment with Guava because she has spoken to Guava, I think twice now,
Mm-hmm.
about Guava's history and disposition, and also just curious because her antenna could not read into Guava's mind. understanding the trauma that Guava has been through, she would want to, at the very least, be there for Guava and to ensure that like everything is okay when it's all resolved. Because theoretically speaking, she would be able to take off the crown if she is able to resolve her internal battle, and she would be able to tell this by, you know, reading her mind.
Okay, so Leiku wants to go with Group A,
Yes.
which means Leighton goes with Group A, which means Sammy goes with Group A.
Wow.
So as it stands for right now, there's only 2 people going with Group B. I don't entirely know where Reich is gonna go, because like I keep saying, he's not here to make a choice. And I think Reich is probably in the worst position of wanting to go hang out with his brother and catch up and at least get to know what Katana is like now without any shackles on him. But also going to Group B because he's still a thief.
Job.
And it's also his job.
Granted, he was using that job as a cover to try and find Catan, but it's still a job.
Correct. Is there anything else that anyone would like to say? I will take that as a no.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
In which
Just
case,
thinking if there's anything to say is the thing.
in which case, that'll be the end of today's session. There really isn't much else to discuss. There's very little roleplay to do. So, hooray!
Hooray!
Yay.
To which, with that, I would like to thank you all for being here. I'd like to thank you all for coming out. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, evening, and good night.
Goodbye.
Why?
Bye.